So, hello everyone, welcome back to the Zach F1 channel. Obviously, it is just past FP3. We're getting into the final stages of picking our teams for Spain. Obviously, qualifying is at 3 o'clock and, well, 3 o'clock British summer time. Right now, it is 12:45. 2 hours, 15 minutes to go over everything. I forgot to get my chat up, so let me go get that now. I'll bring that over to this side. But there's quite a lot to talk about. Some of the stuff very much is similar to what I've been talking about in my video I made yesterday anyway. But let's quickly get up this. Oh, actually, I don't need this as well. I don't need the thumbnail maker up. Right, let's get this up. Hey guys, how you all doing, man? Good to see you all in the chat. Let me just shrink this, and then we're ready to go. Hey, right, so this isn't the screen I want up, but actually, for anyone who wants to know what my team will look like, I wasn't going to go straight to that. This is probably what I'm looking like for my team. I was thinking of doing this, but after Charles Leclerc's antics, he might be getting a penalty, so it might not be that smart bringing him in anymore, because if he gets, because of how tight it is for, like, even just the top 6, I don't think it's worth it. Oh, first up, Lewis versus Carlos Sainz. It has to be Sainz. I was really impressed with Sainz, and I know Hamilton didn't really get his lap together in FP3, but the two people like I'm really excited about are Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. I really do think those are the best two premium drivers to have right now, and it's crazy because in my Monday video I was kind of slagging off Carlos Sainz. I didn't think he'd have it in him. But my God, did he show all throughout practice that he was, well, not miles clear of Leclerc. Leclerc showed moments, but my God, Sainz has just been on it, man. For his home Grand Prix, I'm hoping he can do well. It'd be great to see him do really well, but honestly, this week you must have Mercedes, Ferrari, and Norris. I can't agree more, Zuera. That's what I keep on saying. So I think we can actually talk about, I'll talk about what's on my screen in a second. But we'll talk about the McLaren versus the Mercedes. So yeah, obviously, if you have enough money, like I said in my old video, to have McLaren, Ferrari, and Norris plus a second premium driver, then don't worry. It's not too much of an issue for you because they're going to get similar points. It's just that Mercedes seem like they're going to get the same points. Now, budget-wise, they're probably not going to go up because, like I said, similar points, not going to go up 1 million increase. But it's kind of made it quite easy for us constructor-wise. Now it's all about picking the right drivers, which from the looks of things, two premium best drivers look like Norris and Sainz, especially if we're going to keep an eye on if Leclerc gets a penalty. I'm actually going to put that in right now for everyone as well, before I answer a few more questions. I'll start a poll. Does Leclerc, for anyone who saw it, does Leclerc, oh my bad, I need to mute myself on the other thing, deserve a penalty? Because obviously we saw what he did at the end of qualifying practice. Let me get up the stream again and let me mute it so there's no echo. Taking Lewis and Norris. Yeah, that's a good shout. Because I do think Sainz will be better, but Mercedes are right there. It's so exciting right now. Can I just say as well, I love F1 Fantasy Tools. But let's go through some of the teams that they think are best. So for anyone 120 million-ish, Red Bull, Ferrari, Leclerc, Piastri, I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that. 125, let's see what it does. And then we'll do 115, 100, and we'll see. That was so unnecessary from Leclerc. Yeah, I know, because like I get, like, sure, he could get angry that Norris was in the way. He wasn't really in the way, though. But also, it's practice free, mate. You're not setting the fastest lap when you've been on those tyres for, what, like 7 or 8 laps? He just needed to take a chill pill. And all of a sudden now, like, it probably was looking like I was going to downgrade Tsunoda to keep Leclerc in because I was like, it still could be worth it. But it's not worth it anymore. But here we go. This is the sort of team you want to be aiming for. I would probably go with Sainz with Verstappen, but like look at something like this. But we should mention, though, Verstappen doesn't actually look like the best option at the minute. I'm also going to do a poll on that as well. Is Mercedes, Ferrari, Norris, Leclerc good? Yes, 100%, Bumbo. I just have an inkling that Sainz could be better. I say inkling because of what he's been showing in practice. Yeah, basically. I know it's always the case though with F1 Fantasy Tools because of how tight it is right now. I very much disagree with the teams that bring it out because many of the teams are based around Red Bull most of the time. Like, look at this team. Red Bull, Ferrari, Verstappen, they think is better than literally with 115 million. You could make a team that looks like this if it sends a second premium driver in. With 115 million, you can make a team like that. And even that team's 10 times better than just the Verstappen with Red Bull and Ferrari. Yes, we need to talk about that as well. Let me get over to the team so I can show you what I'm thinking. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will get straight to the point with my... Oh, sorry, let me blob that. I will get straight to the point with my team. This is what my team's... So, that was a team that could have been the case. But let's... No, that's the wrong button. Let's bring in Sainz. And let's bring back Sonoda. I could bring Sonoda or K-Mag, but... I believe I can't because that's 3 out of 3 transfers, if I believe. I'm not going to confirm it right now, actually, so I won't dick about with that. What kind of penalty could he get? It'll probably just be like a... If he does get a penalty, it'll be a free place grid penalty. That's about it. I doubt it'd be anything crazier than that. But this is probably what my team's going to look like. Going in from... what's it called? I got distracted by Michael sending me the $5. Thank you very much, man. Oh, what a lad. Michael's the GOAT. Everyone give Michael some love. But, alright, so straight from the poll. Does Leclerc deserve the penalty? It's close, 57 to 43. I would say it'd be quite annoying because it's annoying when people get, like, penalties in practice sessions because, you know, if it was qualifying, fair enough. 100% a penalty. But practice... If Norris does have damage, different story. But I think Norris got away with it. I think Leclerc should just about get away with it. Norris seems to be the master of time management. Seems like an easy choice. Okay, so we've got 2 different things here. So we've got someone saying Norris seems to be the master of time management. But then also, Colin saying Max is so consistent on Sunday's pace, he'll come through from a bad qualifying. Which is another thing to talk about. So I still very much... It's the safe bet, isn't it? Depends how much you want to risk it. I would still risk Norris because from the looks of things, Verstappen might not even be in the top 3 for a qualifying, and I think that would become a little bit difficult. But if Verstappen's 2nd or 3rd, no doubt in my mind he'll probably win the race. With Euros, F1 triple header, and Cricket World Cup on my palette, I'm more busy with fantasy than work. You know what? 100%. Oh, the Euros, man. Oh, what a time to be alive. Triple header and... Oh. I will say, though, it's tough times watching Southgate ball. I literally want to gouge my eyes out. But we're not talking about that because this is an F1 conversation. What will happen with Leclerc? Wasn't it Norris impeding or was it Leclerc's fault? So, from what I was watching, Norris got out of the way. I mean, I'm a McLaren fan, so it might sound a little bit biased, but I'd be surprised if they thought Norris was impeding him. And then, and my budget is, I believe, let me show you all. I believe it's around 116.5. No, 116 million my budget is. So it went down from last week, because last week was a stinker. Yeah, he just got really angry. DRS on Lando or Sainz. I still think Lando, because basically, here's the thing, that for anyone who didn't watch FP3, let me get up the results. Here's the rundown for anyone who's just looking at the FP3 results right now and thinking, oh, Sainz looks the quickest, I'll go for Sainz. Norris did that. He cocked up his first lap. His first lap was going to be even better. So I very much think Norris is in pole position to be getting pole position. Sainz looking very good, though, for 2nd place. Let me get up the practice result, at least practice 3, because we were dipping into the low 1 minute 13s, and I believe this is where they're going to be. This looks about right. Considering how mad Leclerc was, it would make sense as to why. Because, yeah, they're so tight right now. Hey, hello Nico, how you doing? I have Leclerc, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Ferrari, Red Bull, free transfers. What should I do after FP3? Get rid of Red Bull and drop down to from Red Bull to Mercedes. That opens up how much? 7 million-ish. Then drop Ocon down to Sargent if you really need it. And with that money, you should be able to increase the likes of Ricciardo up to a second premium driver. Potentially a Hamilton, potentially a Sainz, depending on who you can afford, Nico. Sainz or Piastri, I'd go for Sainz. Right now, he's looking much more on form. I would like to say this as well. So for anyone who's going for the McLaren Constructor, this is the issue I have with also why it might sound crazy, me thinking, oh, McLaren surely is the best constructor if Norris is looking good for pole position, or at least getting into that podium positions. Piastri's looked very rocky this weekend, and I could see him being behind both Mercedes, both Ferraris, and Red Bull. So what's that? So 2, 4. I could see him being in 7th place and probably sticking there. So fastest lap could work for him, but I think Piastri's it's not a race to go for Piastri in my opinion. 114 million budget. Oh, I see, Nico. I think you should be able to still afford that then. I'll have a look into it in a second. Hey, thank you, Tomahawk. Appreciate that. What about driver of the day? Driver of the day is going to come down to let me get up the team I want to play again. Just for anyone coming in so they don't get a little bit confused if I then go, oh, but I want this. And they're like, hang on, but you've got this sort of thing. Right. But back to driver of the day. It's either going to be Norris, Sainz, or Leclerc. I'm not saying actually scrap Leclerc. I don't think it's going to be Leclerc. Norris, Sainz, or Hamilton. Now Russell's been looking good in qualifying, but we all know Hamilton's race pace is where it's at. I could see Hamilton doing a lot of good work this weekend, and that's why I also like this strategy right here, where I'm going to say I like it because I have to, because I can't afford the McLaren Ferrari. But, you know, like I said, not having all your eggs in one basket. Obviously, you've got Mercedes for if they do well. Constructor points, you still get the Constructor points. You've got Norris 2 times for if he does get that win, that second place, gets that driver of the day, you're sitting pretty. Then you've got Ferrari and Sainz, the backup boys, just in case they all of a sudden blitz it, and then you're good. So I really like this sort of format, but that is also me coping because I can't afford McLaren and Ferrari in my team. Right, anyway, what is your opinion on a wildcard this weekend? So I saw someone wildcarded in my comments, and it was actually a pretty decent wildcard. I think so. I've been quite firm on no chips, and that's one of the things I've sort of changed my mind on, because wildcard is actually, depending on what you're doing for Austria, a decent shout. Obviously, if you're going to Limitless in Austria, don't wildcard. Probably wildcard after Austria. If you're using extra DRS, however, and you now can, with like 4 transfers, get over to a really good team, set yourself up for a wildcard, because obviously you can't wildcard and then use extra DRS in Austria, then I'd recommend using the wildcard. You've got to be really strategic about it. Only wildcard if you're getting something out of Austria. Like for me, I'm going to be using all my free transfers this weekend in Spain, but I'm getting something out. I'm getting something out of it for Austria, as if Norris, like I predicted, does really well, and Sainz, like I predicted, does really well, then they're going to go up, well, not Norris up 1 million, but Sainz we could see going up 1 million, and then you're missing that out on Austria. And then, yes, I will only have 2 free transfers, but those 2 free transfers, I could go boom, Sainz, Norris, out for whoever looks like the 2 best premium drivers for that weekend. And just, you'd have to pray Mercedes still look good, but from the looks of things, Mercedes are right there to play around with the big boys now. But right, anyway, yes, I wasn't looking at some of the messages for quite a while there. So Hamilton or Sainz. So this is a big choice. So my money's still on Carlos Sainz. However, because of how tight they are on value, it's one of those things where they are the 2 that you're going to be thinking about in that sort of thing. So I still think it's going to be Sainz from the looks of practice. Hamilton, not a bad shout, but I'd be surprised if people did go for Hamilton over Sainz. it really looks like Sainz is on it like a car bonnet this weekend. Use extra DRS to Verstappen. So, yeah, so that's the only thing. I would like to say, if you're in a position like me, the reason why I didn't mention this in Austria as well, I didn't mention it now, but also for me, why I'm not too fussed about only having 2 transfers for Austria, is I'm pretty much set not using my extra DRS in Austria. All because the funds weren't there. If I had a team that had Verstappen plus a second premium driver, I would be going for the extra DRS. So if you do have that money, be looking to do extra DRS. But if you don't worry about Austria too much fitting in Verstappen, because he's the safe option, but still not too much. Hey Zach, last week paid off. Yeah, I know, FBL veteran, man. What? I can't believe it, man. And I know you were saying a bit like a bit lucky, but nah, screw it. That was all you, man. I can't believe how well it worked out for you. But like honestly, like I would have been screaming if I was you, because like everyone else was just having stinker after stinker, and then you just pulled through with a massive team, man. It was insane. I think we need Max from this week for us to get ready for Sprint Austria next week. So this is the thing. I don't think much is going to change going into Spain, going from Spain to Austria. Again, now if you're using, like I said, extra DRS, you'll probably want to aim to get... Also, I still haven't started this. My bad. Oh, get over there. Yeah, like I said, extra DRS, then aim to get Verstappen. But if you don't have extra DRS ready, prepared, or you want to wait till Brazil, which is probably what I'm going to do now to make sure I have the best of the best ready to go, then it's not too bad not having Verstappen. Because, again, he won't get driver of the day and he won't get fastest lap. And it's the same old story again. And from the looks of things, even though I thought Red Bull, I spoke about it in my video on Wednesday, not about F1 Fantasy, I really thought Red Bull were going to come out guns a-blazing. But I don't really know what's happened. I mean, Perez is Perez, but who knows what's going to happen with them right now. But yeah, DRS on Leclerc, Sainz, or use autopilot. I would DRS on Sainz because I believe, again, there's going to be a lot of talk. I'm going to probably make a whole video about how about chips going into Austria, because Nico, I believe that was you. I believe autopilot could be an option for Austria. Extra DRS could be an option for Austria. Limitless could be an option. The world is your oyster when it comes to Austria. It's always a very good place to use a chip. You think we should move? We should burn a triple. A triple free, blah, 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 for Leclerc versus, for Sainz versus Leclerc. Wait, first cut, I'm not fully getting what you're saying there. My bad. You think taking Yuki is fine? That Red Bull looks absolutely awful this weekend. Yeah, it's more I'm just sort of stuck with him, Kieran, not going to lie. Honestly, not going to lie. I could do something like, this. But we're going to keep an eye on Leclerc, because if Leclerc's got a penalty coming his way, I can't see him getting into the podium position, so I don't think it's worth it. But Red Bull looking terrible. Yeah, agreed. Mate, any thoughts on Perez's free place grid penalty? Yes. So I spoke about this quite a bit, where Perez could be an option because of his free place grid penalty. But I don't think he cracks the top 7. So even with the grid place penalty, he could get a few overtakes, you know, but nothing more than you would get for getting a Sainz or Leclerc or Norris or a Hamilton getting in. My bad. Getting in the top 3. It's a joke Max didn't get driver of the day last week. 100% agreed, FBL veteran. I said that. I even said that on my post video on the Monday. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to happen because it's Verstappen, but it was one of the only times where like Verstappen had to really like fight for it. And people are like, nah, he still didn't deserve it. But Sainz ×2 and Leclerc, Ferrari plus McLaren will wildcard Hamilton in if Leclerc is poor in qualifying. Sounds like a plan. That's a really good plan, Michael Wells. Good stuff for you. You think it's worth taking a -10 to take the 4th transfer to get Norris or Sainz with McLaren and Ferrari? No. So if you need to take a 4th transfer, then stick. I'm assuming you have like Mercedes or Ferrari at the minute or something. Stick with the Mercedes or Ferraris. Mate, how many points do you think are possible for Perez this weekend with his grid penalty? So like I said, with his grid penalty, I'm expecting Perez to qualify around 8th to 12th. So let's be really nice to him. Say he qualifies 12th. Grid place penalty to 15th. He gets overtake points to 8th. So that's 7 plus 7 positions gained points are 14 plus 1, 2. So he's probably going to get maximum 18 points this weekend. I don't think that's worth taking a risk on him for 18 points when, you know, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton all look like they're going to get more points than that. Hey Zach, need some help, budget building, advice for 110.3 million. Yes, Merc, Ferrari, Leclerc, Sonoda, Magnussen, Zhou, Ocon. Merc aren't likely to get 1 million though. Yeah, I agree. Ocon out, Sainz or Lando over Leclerc. Yeah, so that's the thing this weekend. So I brought it up being like, oh, budget wise it's a good thing to have. But this weekend, I don't think we're going to see many 1 million increases. We're going to see them more on the drivers, I tell you what. That's why I think Sainz could be a good option. But also, if you have only one premium driver, again, I think it's worth taking the risk to go for a Leclerc or Sainz, again, because the driver's more likely to get a 1 million increase. And when you're at a place like you are, Bradley, where you've only got 110 million, you're going to be losing out points next weekend to the Austria teams where they can afford Verstappen or Norris plus a second premium driver. So you may as well risk it and just try to get that budget up. Even though it's scary not going for Norris right now, Leclerc and Sainz definitely the better options for you right now. Best of luck this weekend, mate. I'll be surprised if Leclerc doesn't get a penalty. Yeah, I think it was 57 to 43% we agreed on the poll. But yeah, good luck to you as well, Tyler. Hopefully we will do well. Hopefully we don't get blessed. No, hopefully we don't get blessed. No, hopefully we do get blessed with no crashes on our teams. Sergeant, you can do it. I believe in you. You can finish a race. Right, Sainz or Norris for ×2. Colin, I'd go for Norris for the ×2. Leclerc or Sainz. If I keep Leclerc, I get to carry a transfer. Then 100% keep Leclerc. I see what you mean, TF. Right, yeah, my bad first cut. Yeah. 100% keep Sainz if it keeps you that free transfer going into us. Let us know if the shoes decision for Leclerc and Hamilton. Yeah, my God, I didn't even bring up Hamilton. He was there as well. I can't remember exactly what he was doing as well because it was earlier on in the session. What do you think is possible for Gasly this weekend? So this is the issue right here. So I was listening to the commentators on FP3. The issue with Gasly, and a lot of people have mentioned this as well, outside of like the F1 commentators and stuff, but they look pretty good in qualifying. I could easily see both Alpines, you know, getting into the final part of quali, maybe getting an 8th or a 9th, but they looked 1.2 seconds, I think, slower on race pace than a Red Bull, I'm pretty sure they said. That is bad. That is really bad. And if you have both Aston Martins, both V-Carves, and Williams of Albon, yeah, I know, Sergio Perez behind you, you could get eaten up. And that's the only scary thing about Alpine. We've really got to hope that, okay, their race pace is much slower than Red Bull's, but hopefully everyone else's is. Best type C driver. So, funnily enough, the best type C driver has got to still be K-Mag. Definitely 100% got to be K-Mag. If you can afford to have K-Mag in your team, he should be there. If Sargent loses his spot, isn't that better for us? Because then he won't get a DNF and we get a 0 for 6 million. Yeah, exactly. That's all I want from Sargent. I don't even want points from him anymore. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's how low expectations are for my GOAT. Just don't get me minus points, mate. That's all I need. You know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, Sergeant. Leclerc and Yuki or Sainz and Zhou? Wait, hang on. How does that work? I mean, I understand how it works, but surely they're both lower costing drivers, first cut. But that's actually a really hard one. I would go Sainz and Yuki, but that's not what you're asking. So I think I'd go Leclerc and Yuki out of those two options. The fourth transfer would be to switch Piastri to Sainz. Okay, yeah, I understand. And I know I said Piastri's going to struggle, but 10 points less than Sainz? I don't think so. You're only going to... I think Fuma, it's not worth the -10. Sainz would have to get driver of the day and win the race, which, even though I think he's going to do well, I don't think he's going to win it. Should I take the -10 to switch Hulkenberg for Gasly? 100% no, Asim. Never take a -10 to cut a cheap driver out, because they barely score more than 10 points anyway. So even if Hulkenberg has like an 8-point race and Gasly only gets 4, you're still in a better situation than when you would have taken the -10. You know what I mean? Right, K-Mag for Ocon if it means not rolling a third transfer. 100%, Jeffrey. 100%. You, like I said, it's depending on your strategy. Doesn't matter too much how many transfers you have going into Austria. So, like, if you're using Limitless, don't worry about the transfers right now. But if you're like me, I'll probably be using Autopilot in Austria, potentially. I'm not going to be using extra DRS. So, I'm not too fussed about the free transfers, because I don't need to worry about exactly bulletproof what my team needs to look like 100% for Austria. Are the Haas drivers good budget driver options? 100%, Brendan. 100% Haas drivers are good budget. So basically the way it works, Brendan, is if they're below 15 million, they all have the same. So you see Sargent right over here, my little baby boy Sargent, Logie Bear. He has 5.6 million. This has to get the same amount of points as Lance Stroll on 14.4 to increase 0.5 million. The threshold. So the Haas boys are still very good. Imagine a Lando DNF when everyone gets him on now. Well, biblical, considering my luck of recent, I would not be surprised if I go, lads, bring in Norris, bring in Sainz, boom, both DNF, and we're finished. Sonoda or Hulkenberg? I'd probably go for Sonoda this weekend still. I know they don't look good, but I still just think if there's any driver who could get loads of overtakes, even when he qualifies badly because of how bad the car is, it's Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda. Any worries about Logan if it ends up raining? I always worry about Logan. I always worry, man. I don't think it's going to rain. Actually, let's get up the weatherman. Weatherman Zach's coming back at you. And then I'll do all of my routines. So, BBC weather. Alright. Where in Catalonia is it? I'm just going to put... It's in... Where? Oh, Jesus. Where is it in Catalonia? It's near Barcelona, isn't it? I believe so. Oh, let's just put Barcelona. Hopefully it shows us a wider range. Hopefully it just shows no rain. Well, I don't think it's gonna rain. It could go quite close to it, but I don't think it's gonna rain. Hey, Tommy! Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for the $10, man. You are the GOAT. What a guy. What a guy. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Michael. Yeah, good lad. All of us on the weather. All of us on the weather update. Oh, God. Yeah, thank you, Tommy, man. Appreciate that so much, man. Appreciate the kind words. Mercedes or Ferrari -10? Wait, leapfrogs. What do you mean? So, like, so if you swapped from Mercedes to Ferrari, is it worth the -10? If you're saying that, then no. I don't think so. 2 times on Norris or Sainz? Norris or... Yeah, so, right. Let's put this in the chat. Another... Who... I can't get everyone, but who... Who, I sound like an owl, will win driver of the day. So I can't put everyone, but I'm going to put Norris, Sainz, Hammy, and who else? Who else looked decent? Leclerc looked... let's just say Leclerc. What are we saying, everyone? So I still think driver of the day wise, it's Norris. But also, let me do all of this stuff. Thank you so much for joining the league. 737 of you right now. I need to improve. I'm only 99th now. Here's the league code. Oh, my bad. Why is it not copying? There we go. There's the league code. There's the league link. There you all are. I'll do the Oh, I can't find it at a minute. Oh well, that's all I mean. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Leapfrog. Yeah, if that's what you mean, then yeah, I wouldn't do that. Leclerc or Sainz for now. But like I said, it really depends on what your strategy is going into. So obviously, I don't know exactly what your team looks like. But like, if you have to use a free transfer, like your third free transfer to go from Leclerc to Sainz, then I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather take an additional transfer going into Austria rather than having to get rid of Sainz. Like, for me, I have to take free transfers no matter what happens. So I'm probably going to go with Sainz, especially if Leclerc gets the penalty. Ocon or Stroll, I've got Yuki and Max. I'd go for Stroll. Stroll's still a good... Stroll's still a good option for now. It's a good weekend to have Ocon. Yeah, it is. I just think Gasly's going to do the exact same thing. So, unless... so, if you need that extra million, go for Gasly. If you don't want to go for that extra million, Ocon's just as good. Hammy couldn't be... yeah, but it's too long. At least I should have just narrowed it down to Ham as well. Sainz at home, plus he looks better than Charles. Yeah, Cormac. We agree, my dude. We agree. Oh, okay. A lot of people saying Sainz driver of the day. Very interesting. So what? Right. So I'll give that a few more seconds to get some polls in, and then I'll ask the other option. Then, so we've got our two boys, Norris and Sainz, pretty close, but Sainz beating them. I will ask in a second, who do we think's gonna get onto? What's it called? Who do we think's gonna win not driver of the day? What am I talking about? Who should we 2 times? My bad. Because I think it should be Norris, but I think it could be close. I think it could be close between what everyone's thinking. Legit, it won't let me join the league. I've never seen that before. Wait. No idea, man. I refresh, I guess. Have you tried turning it off on again? Right. Oh, let me get that poll out of the way for a second, though. So I'll end that there. Sainz looked like the best one. If I should give a penalty to Mr. Norris, no, Nate, what are you talking about? No way you think Leclerc was impeded by Norris, especially on a practice session where I don't know. By the way, I should mention I don't think Leclerc should get a penalty either. He was a bit cheeky, but Norris, really? That's crazy talk. Checo P7 doesn't look that bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just, like I said, maximum 18 points from him. So I don't think that's what we really want. Right, but then let's put it. Who to 2 times? Sainz or Norris? There we go. So my bet would be on Norris. What is everyone else saying? Times 2 Sainz can't afford Norris. Yeah, then that's fine, Michael. That's 100% fine. If you can't afford Sainz, then Norris looks like the best option as well. So it's pretty good. Mate, autopilot today or save for the sprint weekend? I'd save it for the sprint weekend, my dude. Bro, Sainz never left my team since the start of the season. Oh, really? Wait, hang on. Who's saying it? Does that include Saudi? Does that include Jeddah? Because if that does, ooh, that would have been a bit of an issue. Best Limitless team. Yeah, to be fair, so obviously I don't recommend using Limitless, but we can go over what I think is going to be the best Limitless team. Let me full screen it again. So, best Limitless team, of course. Right, I do actually think Limitless-wise, Red Bull, you should still have in. Then it would be McLaren. Because of our fastest pit stops, I still think Red Bull are a decent shout to get in. So, Red Bull, McLaren, Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, hands down guaranteed. Then Hamilton. And then we have a bit of an issue for the 5th place one. Which is, who'd you pick there? You could pick Perez, you could pick Piastri, you could pick Leclerc. I would probably pick Leclerc, but Perez and Piastri and Russell aren't bad shouts for that either. 100% Norris. Yeah, so that's interesting then. So people think Sainz is going to get driver of the day, but they would still 2 times Norris. Wait, how does that correlate? Swapping in Hulkenberg or Yuki for Bottas, -10. No, yeah, Syndicate. I wouldn't do that then if it cost a -10. I said earlier as well, if it cost a -10 to get rid of a cheap driver, not worth doing. Right. Hey, Nicholas, how you doing, my dude? Hang on, give me a second. My team's Leclerc, Piastri, Joe Hulkenberg, Sargent, McLaren, Mercedes with 2 swaps and 2.4 million budget. What's your opinion? If you've got 2.4 million, then all I would do is get Leclerc up to Norris, any means necessary. So what is the gap from Leclerc? So you need a bit more money. So drop Hulkenberg to Albon, and then Leclerc up to Norris, and then you're good to go, Nicolaus. Should I take the -10, get to your team, or stick with Leclerc ×2 and final fix in Norris after quali? Oh, Peter. You do ask a good question there. Is it worth -10 to get to Norris, though? Because that's where you've got to start thinking, it could be. Now, here's the thing. I don't think so. Because if you can't afford Norris, you're still very much, Peter, in the your budget building era, I could say. So I would just hold out for Austria, because he's not going to go too much. And either decrease Leclerc to Sainz, don't take that -10 hit, or just stick with Leclerc and hope for the best. Hey, Barack Obama's back in the chat. Exciting week. Yeah, I know. Really excited for this one. I can't wait for it. I always love a good F1 weekend. And we got 2 more coming up in the next 2 weeks. Oh, thank you so much. Thoughts on Lando with 4 tier C drivers because it's race with overtakes. I see what you mean. Yeah, and I should mention, last year's, most of the overtakes were in the midfield. So your cheap drivers do matter. They do really matter. And it's just the issue where I think it's fine if you've got 4 cheap drivers. I'd still prefer to go for a Sainz and risk it all, because clearly if you can only have Norris and 4 cheap drivers, then you still need to get your budget up. So I'd still risk it and go Sainz with 4 cheap drivers, because then you could easily, with Sainz and 4 cheap drivers plus the constructors, you could easily go up 6 million increase if the weekend goes well for you. At push, but you'd be happy with a 4 or 5 million increase, and then you're sitting pretty again, you know what I mean? Best team for 118 million. Matthias, I believe you can do a team like this with 118 million, because you've got 2 million extra than me, if I'm correct. So what you can do is beep bop. No, you need to drop that down to right. Let's have a look, because then could you afford that? 2 million and then 2 million? No, you can. You'd still. I need to see the threshold for so Leclerc, Norris, and Sainz, and then the threshold is 8.1. Yeah, so where's Matthias? There we go. Matthias, best team for 118 million. I'd stick with the McLarens and the Ferraris because you have enough money to do that. Increase the Lando, bring in Sainz, and bring in I believe you can bring in with the 2 million extra you should have. You could bring in a Hulkenberg or an Albon. However, that is a lot of transfers. So will it work that way? Try it out and see what you come back to me. 2 times on the Leclerc Sainz. But okay, so 68% of you agreed Norris will get 2 times for you guys. Leclerc or Norris, consider the budget potential for a 1 million increase. So yeah, that's the thing. So big statement. This is what I haven't actually mentioned much. But basically, I'm not too worried about the Leclerc extra 1 million increase because I have the 2 premium drivers, and one of my premium drivers will get that 1 million increase of Sainz. That's why I want to still push a bit budget, a bit points. But if you are all going out for budget, then you have to have Leclerc and Sainz, both of them. Or even Hamilton. You could have Hamilton and Sainz if you still don't have enough money for that as well. But yeah. Yeah, minus 20. Yeah, so yeah, no, that's fine then. Matthias, what is your exact team right now? I could go for Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Norris, Sargent, Ferrari, Mercedes, if needs be, and 0 points lost for chance. Yeah, then that's fine, Matthias. Go for something like that then, and just really hope that we don't get Sargent crashing out. Oh, okay. Currently got 2 times Leclerc and Piastri and Merc and McLaren. Should I change any of these? I would recommend Hilson. I don't know what your value is, but I'd recommend going from McLaren down to Ferrari to get, if anything happens, they're going to be the team to get a 1 million increase. And with that extra money, you could bring Leclerc up to a Norris. I'm just starting out for 100 million. Yeah, I can do that. Let's give you a good team you could do for 100 million. So first off, you're going to want to focus on your constructors and building budget. When you've got 100 million, where are you, Meher? Sorry for the pronunciation. You're going to want to have the best constructors 100%. Then, points-wise, you really need to go budget building 100% to get back up to scratch with everyone else. So you'll probably want to go for someone like Carlos Sainz. Then you could go for the likes of, how much money does that leave you? That leaves you with quite a lot of money. I would then recommend having, where's K-Mag? Where's Gasly? Where's Sonoda? And then how much money does that leave you? No, that leaves you too little money. And then where's Sainz? How much money does that leave you with? No, too much money. No, oh no, my bad. Logan. So you could easily go for a team similar to this. I believe you'd need a little bit more funds actually though. So you could drop to the likes of Hulkenberg. A team like that would be very good for someone starting out at 100 million for you. But right, let's go back to it. Hey Zach, what do you think about triple Ferrari? I have McLaren, Ferrari, Leclerc times 2, Sonoda, Stroll, Zhou, and Hulkenberg. So triple Ferrari is another good option. I would probably 2 times Sainz. But triple Ferrari, I should mention, probably is, like I said, it's the budget building team of the weekend. For me at least, because Norris looks like the clear driver who's going to be Norris or Sainz basically. So I'd be surprised if Leclerc gets that 1 million increase this weekend. Right, let's get Carlos Sainz back in my team. Oh, okay. Stroll to Gasly, Ocon or Albon. Depends. What are you doing with the rest of the money, Ramif? Because if you're not doing anything with the money, I'd stick with Stroll for one or two more weekends. Lorenzo, hello. So, McLaren, Ferrari, Verstappen, Snowder, blah, blah, blah. Any other better options for you? Is there a way to get them not the -10? Let me have a look. So McLaren to Mercedes, that's a transfer. Verstappen to Norris, that's a transfer. I see. Lorenzo, in your case though, I think it would be worth doing that. I think it would be worth taking a -10 in your case. Best team for 119.8 million. You're very much similar to everyone else I was talking to, where you would probably go for the likes of Norris plus a second premium driver of Sainz, because you can afford that with McLaren and Ferrari. And then cheap driver-wise, K-Mag, Sargent, Zhou if you want it, or if you want it a bit more balanced, you could have Gasly and Albon instead of Sonoda and Zhou. Hello, mate. What do you think about the 2 times Norris? Good. Hulkenberg, yeah. Yuki, K-Mag, Gasly, Mercedes, Ferrari. Yeah, that's a good team. It's a good balance between budget and points. However, I feel like with that sort of team, I'm assuming you don't have more than 115 million in the budget. So I would probably risk it and not go for a Norris and hope for a 1 million increase from a driver like Sainz. Right, upgrading from Sargent with the rest, mate. I see. Hang on. So I see. Then yeah, why not? I would go from Stroll to Gasly then, and then get that really nice increase on Sargent. That's all good then. In Fantasy Formula League, I have 116.7 million budget. 3 transfers: Verstappen, Yuki, Hulkenberg, Albon, Bottas, Red Bull, Ferrari. Help! Right, let's have a think about this for Tommy Twofish, my boy. Yeah, sorry, Michael. I do see the message. I'll get to you. I'll get to you in a second. I know. I do want to speak about that. I keep on just forgetting to. I look at another comment and then go past it. Sorry. Yeah. So 3 transfers, clear as day. Tommy, Red Bull down to Mercedes. Verstappen down to a Norris. And then Yuki up to another premium driver with whatever money else you got. I believe that should be enough money for you. If not, then Verstappen down to Sainz and then another second premium driver. But yeah, so need to look up the Verstappen power unit usage. He's at his limit. He's getting an engine penalty soon. So if that's correct, 100%, it would probably be around Austria then where we need to look out for it. So it could be another good option to why we need free transfers there, especially you have Verstappen. But that's a good thing for all of us, I guess, because actually no, it's a bad thing. Verstappen with a 5-place grid penalty is always a monster. He'd get overtake points for days and potentially get a driver of the day after all. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But honestly, if Verstappen gets a penalty, you know, it actually makes him a more juicy asset. What do you think about triple Ferrari? Like I've said, triple Ferrari, very good for budget building. Although, I would, yeah, no. You could do triple Ferrari or Hamilton Sainz Ferrari. But the issue with that is you're hoping that Leclerc and Sainz go up 1 million. And I just don't see both of them going up 1 million. And that's the issue. And that's why I think it's worth not worrying about one of your premium drivers' price increases this weekend. I don't see anything happening in practice. Meletios. All right. So in practice, what we covered. Let me go back to the results. Do we still have them up? My bad. I clicked on the wrong thing though. So I know it says Lando in second place. He kind of screwed up his first lap. Lando's looking mighty fine. Lando and Sainz looking very good. Hamilton kind of screwed up his lap, so don't take him out of the equation. Verstappen as well. I mean, just look how tight they all are. This is going to be such a good qualifying, by the way. But my prediction is it will be between Verstappen, Norris, and Sainz for pole. Hopefully, Mercedes don't get onto the podium. I mean, I'm hoping they're 4th and 5th, but I've said in my other video that I'm sort of doing a 10-kilometer run if they get on the podium, so I don't really want that. But yeah, right. Mercedes and Magnussen or McLaren and Sargent? Mercedes and Magnussen, I'd say. Sargent is such a reliability at the... he's so unreliable. He's a liability, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, just be careful when you have Sargent. So I would very much agree, yeah. If you don't have to have Sargent, don't have him. Right, hello Bradley. Right, I currently have 3 transfers, 112 million with Red Bull, Ferrari, Leclerc, Yuki, Stroll, Zhou, Sargent. Think to swap Red Bull for McLaren and Leclerc to Norris to save transfer for next week. Yep, that's a decent shout. If you want to save a transfer, 100%, because Red Bull don't look amazing. McLaren look pretty decent, although they're very similar. That very much is a team that's setting you up for next weekend, though, which I quite like as well. Sainz and Leclerc, Ferrari and McLaren. Yeah, that's good, Hassan. But I still prefer... So, like, you could do something like that. I believe I could... yeah, because I could afford to do that. And it would leave me with less of a... I could have an extra free transfer going into Austria. However, I've just from the look of Norris's pace... I don't think Leclerc's going to be there, and it's going to be between Sainz and Norris, and I think Sainz is worth bringing in. Not Sainz, Norris is worth bringing in, especially for the next few races. Blah-da-dee, la-da-doo, la-da-dum. Worth it to Limitless, and if so, please give me a team. Yeah, so I'll show the Limitless team again, but like I mentioned quite a few times, I wouldn't recommend using Limitless on anything that's not a sprint race weekend. But for anyone who does want to Limitless anyway, here is the team. Bim bam, bim bam bam, skibbity bam, ba bam. That's your team for Limitless. Boop. Right, so oh my bad, not showing those. Ferrari, Mercedes, or McLaren and Mercedes. So here's the thing. The reason I'm doing Mercedes Ferrari is because I can't afford to have McLaren and Mercedes. I would actually, points wise, prefer to go McLaren and Mercedes, but that's the thing, innit? The way it works out, most people, to get the teams they need Mercedes and Ferrari, so it works out better for them. But if you can somehow get in McLaren and Mercedes, because you just... But that's the issue as well, because McLaren and Ferrari is still a better option than McLaren and Mercedes. So it really is that like weird like 0.3 or 4 million area where you can't afford to have Norris and a second premium driver like Sainz with McLaren and Ferrari, but you can do it with McLaren and Mercedes. Leclerc or Sainz for Sainz times 2, Carlos Sainz. Right, is autopilot a good shout, Zach? Not for this weekend, no. For any sprint race weekend, yes. but I wouldn't recommend using it right now. Can't have both. Do I go Lando or McLaren? Cormac, I would go for Lando, because then you could drop down to a Mercedes, I'm assuming, instead of McLaren, and they're pretty much going to get similar points this weekend. I even think Mercedes could do a bit better, because they were looking pretty good on pit stops, and they tend to always worm out, like squirm in that fastest lap points, which is very much useful as well. Wait, I just read Hassan's. Right. Same team as you without Tsunoda, 2 free transfers. What about Leclerc and Sainz? So yeah, that's the thing. If you are adamant you want 3 free transfers going into Austria, then stick with Leclerc, Sainz times 2 Sainz. And then you can figure out if you want to bring in Norris for Austria. But I really think that Norris is going to get the driver of the day. And with driver of the day points for Norris, I doubt Leclerc's going to get a 1 million increase. So there's no real need to have him right now. And all I'd be doing with my free transfer next weekend is bringing in Norris. So I don't think there's a point at the minute. My budget is 116 million at the minute, Michael. So I'm actually pretty wank on the budget at the minute. Last few weekends have been doing me not so many favors budget-wise. Yeah, but also change captain to Ronaldo tonight, or keep Kane for the 12-pointer. This is Euros fantasy. I would keep Kane for the 12-pointer. I don't think Ronaldo's getting more than a goal. I do play Euro fantasy. I don't actually keep an eye on it too much, because I captained McTominay. Luckily, he scored a goal, and I keep on forgetting to change it each week. But oh well, it's because I don't care about it too much. But right, anyway, back to the F1 stuff. Where are you placed within the global and private leagues? Yeah, so I've taken quite a few hits over the last few weekends. I'm still doing good. I mean, I'm still top 2,000 in the world. So 1,975th. And then in my league, I'm still top 100, 99th. There's so many ads. Go away. Although I don't have that exact thing, but I have a Lenovo. So yeah, I'm still doing decent. I can't complain, honestly. But I know I could be doing better. I was top 100. I was top 125 at one point. I really need to get pushed back in. Hamilton over Sainz if it saves a transfer, 100% Joe. Bobbitt comes in with the Lando, Lewis, Albon, McLaren, Merc, or Lando, Carlos, Joe, McLaren, Merc. Ooh, okay. I would go with Lando, Carlos, Joe, McLaren, Merc. Not the Lando, Lewis, Bobbitt. How do we feel about Stroll still under 15 mil? Let's actually ask. Because I still think he's a decent option for anyone who only has one premium driver and you can't afford anything. Before I say that, thank you so much, F1 Cat. You're a legend. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I can't say how much I appreciate it. It's just I'm always speechless when people give me money, because it's like I don't know how to respond. I know like I've got to go. Yeah, I'm very much appreciated, because I want to show that I'm appreciated. But I always get a bit lost for words, because it's always so surreal, man. But yeah, right. So is Stroll still a good option? Yes or no? So keep into mind, Stroll a good option if you've only got one premium driver. You know what I mean. Right. So let's not end poll, but put it over there. The best premium driver has to be Lando Norris right now. I know it's crazy for me not saying Verstappen, but I think it's Norris, then Verstappen, and then this weekend it looks like Sainz, then Hamilton, then Leclerc, but on a normal weekend it's Leclerc third. What is the race pace simulations? I'll show you right now, actually, Austin. Where is it? Latest? Is it in latest? Please be in latest. Where are you, debrief? Here it is. Let's look at the race paces. I believed it had Red Bull fastest and then Ferrari next up. Yeah. So basically, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren look very tight. But do you remember how off last weekend's were? Not last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Wait, was it? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So I would take Mercedes race pace with a pinch of salt. I still think they're going to be fine. What team you think of tomorrow? Meletios, I'll show it in a second, but I'll get to F1 Cat. So any of these changes, any thoughts about these changes? Unsure, taking a -10, but I only have 2 transfers. Mercedes, Ferrari, Piastri, Leclerc. Mercedes, Ferrari, Norris. Sainz. I see. So If you have to take the -10, I would recommend still going to get... Oh, no, you've already got Mercedes. So, I would recommend just getting in signs if you have to take the -10 F1 cap. That's what I would say. But right, let's get back to that. Right, so Meletios, this is the team I'm thinking of. Beep, bob, bab, bob. Annoyingly, I have to keep Sonoda because I actually think Gasly's going to do better. But from the looks of things, because I'm not taking a -10 for that. But I'm using all my free transfers, like I said, because in Austria, the person I was probably going to transfer to is Lando Norris. So I'm just doing that transfer now. And then in Austria, my transfer would either be getting rid of Mercedes and Sainz, or Sainz, getting rid of Sainz, bringing in someone else, and then changing one of my cheap drivers. Right. Sorry if I missed anyone. Have you seen your line, Matt? Yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the support. Always do, man. Thoughts on Max? I missed FP3. So Max still looks like a decent shout. He's still the safe option. And like I said, if you're one of those people who have over 120 million, sure, go for Verstappen. Why not? Because you can bring it in with a second premium driver. But for most of us, it's not the best idea because you'd have to only have him as a premium driver. And that's what's iffy about it. So Sainz, Leclerc... right, Matt says Sainz, Leclerc, Ferrari, McLaren, or Lando, Sainz, Ferrari, Mercedes. I would go with Lando, Sainz, Ferrari, Mercedes. Now just my opinion. Right, I don't think Mercedes will be very good. They have only performed on tracks where they have been cooler temps so far. So, here's the thing. If this is the issue I have right now, well, it's not an issue actually. This is my reasoning for not worrying too much about the top 4 teams. They're all going to score similar points for very different reasons. McLaren, Ferrari... Sorry if I blew into that. Sorry, I blew into the mic trying to get something off of it. McLaren, Ferrari, just because of their race positions, they're going to get loads of points in the Constructors. Red Bull are then going to pick up about 30 to 40 points plus the 15 points free the fastest pit stops. 50, I don't know why I said 15. 18 to 0 points in that margin. But then we have Mercedes, where if Mercedes go back to being the 4th fastest car and they're sitting in 6th and 7th, I'm still not really worried because then they'll get the 10th. They'll get the fastest lap, 10 points. And I don't think they're going to be 6th and 7th. I still think they're going to be in there. So I do think with the 10 fastest points, then that pushes them up to around 50 points. And then we're all around the similar points area, so it doesn't matter too much. Oh, we have some difference in our teams. Oh, fair enough. Meletius, what are you thinking of doing? Stroll versus Gasly versus Ocon. So by looking at them by themselves, Stroll. If you need a cheaper driver, obviously, Gasly. And then it would, yeah, I'd probably say Ocon last. So Stroll, Gasly, Ocon. Right, let's get down. Oh, I see Meletios. Oh, wait, was that you, Meletios? Where are you? No, it wasn't. My bad. Mate, when do we have to wait to lock the teams? Is Charles getting a penalty or what? So we've still got an hour and 15 minutes till the team lock. I will probably do my team lock in an hour, or maybe at 2:30, depending on what we see. Yeah, I'll keep actually Twitter up. I've already got it up. My bad. And I'll keep up the Ferrari fan and McLaren fan at it. Right, Sky Sports F1. Nothing new from them about it. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it probably looks like potentially there won't be no penalty. Should I trade Oscar Piastri for Sainz or save the transfer? Change to Sainz. Piastri's been sort of looking nowhere this whole weekend. But okay, so most people agree overall Stroll's not a good option. Fair enough. Can you build a team with 107 million? Of course I can, yeah. Right, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad, Eduardo. I'll do that in a second once I've done this 107 million budget team. So, again, like usual, Mercedes, Ferrari, budget-wise. Then you're going to want to have someone like Carlos Sainz. For only this race, you're going to want to have someone like Sainz. Then it's all about the cheap drivers because you can't afford anyone else to bring in. Because right now, points, you need that budget up right now. So you've got to be going for people below 25 million and then the cheaper drivers. So then I would go K-Mag. Where's my boy? Blah, 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 blah. Where's my boy? Stroll. And then where's my boy Gasly? No, hang on. Maybe you can. No, because you've only got 107 million. So, no, you can't get Stroll. My bad. So you could bring in someone like Hulkenberg and then Albon. And I believe that is enough money. If you can afford to increase someone, then increase Hulkenberg up to Tsunoda. Then Eduardo, yes, right back at you now. So what do you think about going from Leclerc times 2, Hamilton, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Ferrari, and Mercedes to Lando times 2, Gasly, Nando, Hulk, Sarge, same constructors? I wouldn't do that, Eduardo, because Alonso's not looked very good, and that's basically a one premium driver team. So I do think Alonso, most points he's going to get is 15. Hamilton could get up to 30 points this weekend. So I think it's very much worth sticking with the Leclerc. Well, not, you can still move Leclerc about, but definitely not moving from Lando if you have to afford, if you can only afford Alonso to do that. Zach, would you take a -10 if you have Bottas instead of Tsunoda? -10 to get rid of Bottas, I mean. No, I wouldn't, Yee. Like I said, any cheap drivers, they don't normally score more than 10 points, so it's never really worth using the -10 to get rid of them. -10 we only really look at if we're looking at different premium drivers. So, for instance, like if you had Perez and you were like, I need to take a -10 to get to Norris, understandable. Oh, my bad. Should I cop the -10 to swap Hamilton out and get in Sainz? No. So I think Hamilton's still going to have a good weekend. Like I said, I think he's my third favourite premium driver. No, fourth, I mean. Because it goes Norris, Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton. So he's still good. Leclerc or Sainz? Sainz, Joda. Should I save a transfer or change Piastri to Sainz? I would change Piastri to Sainz because I really think there could be a 1 million increase even if Sainz comes second place. So keep an eye out for that. Leclerc, Sainz, Albon, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Ferrari, McLaren. Thoughts? That's a good team. I can do something very similar. I just think the constructors, McLaren and Mercedes-wise, will score similar. So I think having Norris, who I believe is going to get driver of the day, would be a better option. Generally, Gasly over Yuki, even if going for Gasly doesn't allow other moves. So I like Gasly right now because of the Alpine looking decent. But it's not too much of like if it doesn't allow you to go to other drivers, it's a bit of an issue, Yuki. But I wouldn't put too much pressure on the cheap drivers right now, especially Yuki to Gasly. They'll still score pretty similar points. But let me get up the team again that I'm using. I should just team block it in, but I shouldn't, because never get too excited. Anything could happen in the next hour. That means we would change the teams right back up. What about Lando, Hamilton, McLaren, Ferrari? Yeah, so that's another good option, because Hamilton's another driver I think we could see getting a 1 million increase. But Sainz looks more likely to do it, so I would still go for Sainz. Sorry, let me just double check everything. Yep, that's still going. Right, let me put the league back into the good comments. Right. Bim bam boom. Bim bam boom. There is the league code for anyone who wants to join it. Where's the league link? I believe how many people we got now? We got 742 people. Thank you so much for joining it. Right. Oh, it's reverted my team back. Oh god, this is gonna be the death of me. Oh well. It doesn't take long. I've got it like on lock now. Right. Sorry. Right. So let's see. Leclerc penalty confirmed. F on Twitter. Actually. Oh, okay. That must have been really recent. Where did they say it? Let's see what they're saying. Let's see if. Yeah. Actually, have we seen anything on the Hamilton update as well? Has Hamilton got a penalty either as well? Where are you seeing this, Ostrava? I can't see anything at the minute. Yeah, Ostrava, where are you seeing this? Is it on the Ferrari? I can't see it on the... Oh, is it on the F1? Let's see if Ferrari have said anything about it. Hamilton over Piastri? Yeah, 100% Hamilton over Piastri. We'll see. We'll see in a second. Hey, Kovac, don't you hate on me? I've got it on my computer, just not on my laptop. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on pens. Are you sure, Ostrava? But yeah, all right. So, hi Zach, what do you think about moving from Leclerc, Piastri, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, McLaren, Ferrari to Norris, Sainz with free transfers? Yeah, I agree. You should do. I agreed that you'd actually have a very similar team to me. I fully agree with doing something like that. Sorry for the pronunciation, but Bozida. I'd agree to do that. Just checking with you, Leclerc times 2, Piastri, Hulkenberg, and Ferrari, 113.1 million thoughts. So yeah, you're in a sort of sticky position here where I would say you could still decrease Gasly down to a Zhou, and I would recommend then increasing Leclerc to a Norris, which would be better. But because of your budget, I would also say you could actually decrease Gasly again to someone like Albon or Zhou, but then get Sainz in and 2 times him and hope for a better increase in budget. How do you get unlimited cost cap? Oh, don't worry about that. What was I showing? So, unlimited cost cap you only get when you use Limitless. So I use it whenever I'm talking about teams that I can't afford yet, basically. But let's get back to full screen mode. Yeah, but everyone, let's keep an eye out for that the penalty situation. But we'll see what's going on with that. What's a team with 114.3 million? You would be probably still looking at a Mercedes Ferrari team. So you would have, I think 114.3 million, you're looking at a Sainz Leclerc team, aren't you? With 2 times on Leclerc, with 2 times on Sir. Why can't I say Sainz? Something like that, Vedant. Because I don't think you'll be able to afford having Norris, if I'm correct. And then I can do Norris, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Sargent, or else. Same thing, but with Sainz, but I would need a -10. Then I wouldn't recommend doing that yet. I would probably just stick with the Leclerc then. Yeah. What about Leclerc, Sainz, McLaren, Ferrari? Yeah, so that's Kevster. Like I said, that was my second option. So anyone who wants to go for something like this, it's... oh, my bad. I was trying to take the 2 times off. That's still a good option. But I think Norris is going to get driver of the day, get over 30 points. And I think the gap between McLaren and Mercedes won't be more than 20 points. And I have an inkling that Leclerc and Norris could be 15, 20-point gap. You and Rain Fantasy should do a live stream together on Discord. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I would love to do a live stream where we get all of the F1 Fantasy lads, all of us in, and we all just talk. It'd be so chaotic, because what? How many of us are there on YouTube right now? We've got Backup Fantasy just changed his name. What did we say? What's his new name? I can't remember what his new name is now. I think it's F1 Poll something. He's really good as well. And obviously then you've got Fanamp with F1 Fantasy HQ. All of those lads are good. But yeah, I've huge respect to all of them. And I've never actually talked to Rain Fantasy, but you know what? It could make for a very good video idea if I messaged them, even just a video and not even just a live stream, where I got their ideas in a video as well. But yeah, you know what, Zera? Yeah. We'll see. I can always message and see, yo, hello, do you want to do something together? But yeah, we'll see. I can't get that team. I can't afford both Ferraris. Are you sure? Wait, so you had 114 million. I'm guessing with your transfers. Wait, sorry. Lot of messages. I don't know why it's saying welcome to the live chat there. Just hopped onto the stream. Which is the better option? Sainz, Russell, Tsunoda, or Leclerc, Hamilton, Zhou, or Norris, Tsunoda, Gasly? I would say in your position, Sainz, Russell, Tsunoda, Cyclone. Why is Leclerc not favoured for this race? He has not performing as well as Sainz. Yeah, basically, Matthias, in all of practice sessions, Sainz has been looking better than Leclerc. So, and after what happened in Canada, there's no bloody chance I'm risking going for something that they say isn't going on. Hey, LBJ, how you doing? The Zaki Boo back in the chat. So my plans are not actually what's on the screen. I'll show you exactly what my plans are, LBJ. No chips, Mercedes, Ferrari, Norris, and Sainz. That is my plan for you. Oh my god, yeah, I can't believe I forgot Port Pat, man. Yeah, Port Pat, man. What a guy, man. He's one of the big boys as well. What a lad. Yeah, all of these guys, huge respect to them. I mean, yeah, what a guy. I mean, what was it? What was the first video I watched of him? I watched him a few years ago when I was getting into this. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, Michael, the issue with me was I stopped halfway through the first F1 Fantasy season because I took a break from YouTube for like 6 months. I should have carried on, but I don't know what I was doing. But sorry, well, F1 Fantasy Tools is suggesting Verstappen, Red Bull, and Ferrari. Ooh, okay. Oh, right. So F1 Fantasy Tools. I've said, Verdan, I don't agree with actually the simulations right now on F1 Fantasy Tools. So, like you can see, I would recommend when doing the simulations, if your team was 104.3 million, I'd recommend getting rid of Verstappen, getting rid of Red Bull, and then seeing what team they want you to bring in. So, like, you could bring in a team like this. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Verdant. But yeah, if you don't have the transfers, then yeah, you'd probably have to look around the Leclerc Russell movement. Thank you, LBJ, man. What website were you using to maximize budget and teams? This is all on F1 Fantasy Tools. They're really good for trying to like get the price increases and stuff. I love them. I mean, I pay for the five quid a month, I think it is. Norris or Sainz for 2 times. Vid, I'd go for 2 times. Let me get this up as well. I'll keep this up for anyone who starts asking about teams as well. With 110 million, thoughts on Sainz, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Albon, Sargent plus Mercedes. That's really good, actually, Alvaro. That's a really good budget building team as well. I'd 2 times Sainz, and then you're sitting pretty. I very much like that team. Anyone who's got around 110 million, Alvaro's put a very good team in the chat right there. Let me pin that, actually. That's a really good team for anyone around that price range. Right, current team, Leclerc, Hamilton, K-Mag, Hulkenberg, Sargent. Team value 113. What changes should you make? So Leclerc, Hamilton, decent. K-Mag, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Ferrari, Merc, decent. I would just say get rid of Leclerc down to Sainz, and then you're ready to go. And then, yeah, I would probably just do that, JS. And then Malik asks, Verstappen, Ocon. Sorry, I just hit the thing. Verstappen, Ocon, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Zhou, McLaren, Ferrari. What do we think? So, the issue is that you've only got one premium driver. And from the looks of that team, it looks like, Malik, you could have 2 premium drivers. If you have 3 free transfers here, is what I would do. Drop Verstappen down to Norris. Drop McLaren down to Mercedes. And drop Ocon. And then, sorry, my bad. And then increase Ocon to a 2nd premium driver, whoever you can afford. If you can't afford Norris, then drop Verstappen down to Sainz and then up Ocon to Hamilton. Hamilton to Sainz or Mercedes to Ferrari. Ooh. Oh, interesting. I would probably say Mercedes to Ferrari, Cormac. Because I think Sainz will do well, but if he doesn't get the driver of the day, then he's going to score similar points to Hamilton. Any word on if we're getting FP3 sims? Probably not LBJ, from the looks of things. We might do, but it'll come in... oh, no, never mind. Biblical Bit simulation's almost ready. We'll probably get it... When do we normally get it? About an hour, 45 minutes before the deadline. So, hopefully in the next 2 to 15 minutes. Could be in 2 minutes, could be 15 minutes. But let me unpin that message for now, though. Just most people saw that. Bottas are Albon, Chris, and Kaylee. Hamilton to Sainz or Mercedes. Oh, right, yeah, I've mentioned that. Just started out, capped out, running Ferrari Merc with 2 times Sainz, K-Mag, Yuki, Tsunoda, Thoughts. Matthias, that's a really good start then. Because if you're just starting out with something like that, 100% really good, because you've got Ferrari and Merc, which are the 2 teams that could increase the most. Sainz looking like he could get a 1 million increase. K-Mag good for cheap driver. Yuki good, and Hulkenberg good. Sargent a bit of an issue, but you know you can't do anything about that, can you? But right, so hey Zach, love your content. Thanks to it, man. Currently have Red Bull, Ferrari, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, Yuki, Zhou, K-Mag, 113.6 million. Want to change Red Bull to McLaren and Leclerc to Norris? I'll have 1 more transfer left. Thoughts? Yeah, that's fine. If I believe, I don't think you have enough money to do it, but we can have a look. You could also have a team like this. Now, it's a bit of an issue. Actually, hang on. No, don't do that team, mate. Don't do that team. Don't do that team whatsoever, because you could... No, what the hell? Right. You could have a team with Ferrari, Mercedes, Stuart, with Sainz times 2, and then a second premium driver. Now, if you don't have enough transfers to get to that, then fair play, go for dropping down to Norris as well. That's fine. But right, let's see. Right, so Zach, can you walk us through your thoughts on if penalties come through with the 2 incidents? Right, so it's pretty simple, to be fair. Like, my thoughts on it, not the actual, like, thinking of it, because there is lots to think about it on it. But if Leclerc and Hamilton both in both situations, get a penalty, or free place grid penalty, it's going to be such a tight Grand Prix, I don't think it's worth doing. Because it's not like they're dropping down to being able to overtake the easy cars. If a Ferrari's behind a McLaren, I don't think they're getting past. If a Mercedes is in front of a McLaren, I don't think they're getting past. They could get past, but it's going to be like ding-dong battling. So I don't think if Leclerc and Hamilton have 3 places down, they're worth getting. Then you're very much looking more at the Sainzes, looking at the Norrises. You could even look at Russell if Hamilton gets a penalty. But yeah, there you go for it. Can you do a ranking about the top 6 drivers this weekend? Sure thing. So I'll do it in a weird way though, because of how it sort of works out. So premium drivers, the top. No, actually, I can just do it like this. So Norris, the best driver to have this weekend, followed closely by Verstappen. However, you have to have the right amount of money, otherwise he's useless. Then you have Sainz. Then you have Hamilton. Then Sainz, Hamilton. Then you have Leclerc. Then you have not Piastri, not Russell. And then Piastri, Russell, Perez, all pretty bad. So they're like the top 5 for the premium drivers. Then the cheap drivers wise, best driver would be K-Mag. Then it would be, I actually think Gasly might be second place. It'd be Gasly, then probably Yuki very close as well in third. Then you have Ocon. Well, actually, no, then you have Hulkenberg. Then you have Ocon. Then you have Albon scraping in just because of how cheap he is. Any worries about FIS sniffing around a Mercedes plankware after what we saw in FP3? I'm hoping that they're not having any issues. If they do have any issues, hopefully it's after the race and then we keep all of our F1 Fantasy points and they go disqualified. Like, well, actually, I wonder what would happen in that scenario. If they finalised the points and then got disqualified after the finalised points. I mean, with F1 Fantasy, it takes about 2 weeks to finalise the points. So it'd probably never happen, but could be interesting if that happened. Right, let's get back to this bad boy team. This bad boy screen, I mean. Not the script. Right, any suggestions on budget building? Doing Limitless next race at everyone above 25 minutes is out for me. Okay, so DizX, if you're doing Limitless, you want to be using all 3 of your transfers. Well, if you have free transfers. If not, then you want to be doing, what's it called? Your 2 free transfers. And that means you're going to want to have a team with Hamilton and Sainz probably as your 2 free transfers. However, no, actually, you know what? Here's the issue, DizX. I would actually say, if you're limitlessing, you want to actually have Leclerc probably, because he's got more of a chance, I think, in Austria. It's safer to have Leclerc ready for Austria, but I would 2 times Sainz. And then have Mercedes, Ferrari ready to go, because basically you want to get the budget building on, and then have like the Hasses and the Alpines as cheap drivers. Very new to the game. When is the deadline for changes? So Thomas, the deadline will be in 57 minutes. So right now it's just before qualifying, basically. Actually, you know what'll be useful? I can't have the volume on, but I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up the qualifying on my other screen so I can see if they're talking about Leclerc's potential penalty. If I could find it. Jeez Louise. It's qualifying. Oh, they haven't. I thought they started earlier. I thought they started at 2 o'clock. Started streaming it. We already saw that with Leclerc and Hamilton. Zach, they got disqualified for it. What was that even? Yeah, I know. Oh God, it was so long ago. They did get the minus 25 points, didn't they? They did. Okay, that's a little bit scary, but I'd be surprised. Oh, come on, Mercedes. Don't be dickheads to me. If I genuinely pick Mercedes this weekend and they get 2 minus 25 points, I'm going to be screaming. So would you take Hamilton over Leclerc? Hamilton over Leclerc if you're not using Limitless next weekend, but if you are, I think Leclerc's better option to have over the next 2 weekends. Sims are out? Okay, time for me to find the spinning wheel of death, because I never seem to be able to get it working straight away. Oh, it's working! Wait, hang on. Don't push it. I'm going to be careful to it. It's alright, it's alright. You've got to nurture it like a baby. You've got to be very careful. Let's see what it thinks my best team would be. Right, careful, careful. Well, you know what? Hang on. That's practically almost okay. We're bang on the money, lads. We're bang on the money with exactly what I've been saying. So for anyone, so my team I was thinking of, obviously I'll have Tsunoda instead of Gasly because I can't afford to decrease it. But hey, this is the first time for a while I can actually, I was actually pretty bang on the dot with the simulations. Yeah, I know it was in 2023. Yeah, I know. I mean fantasy points wise changes. I remember it actually happening, Michael. Yeah, don't worry. But the points wise, yeah, interessante. Yeah, because I remember because it was the first race, my GOAT, Logan Sargent, got that 1 point. What a guy. Oh, imagine. To be fair, Mercedes disqualification, but Logan Sargent gets a win. That's what's going to happen. But okay, I'm happy with that. Pretty much the simulations are exactly saying what I've been spouting out my mouth for the past hour and 20 minutes. That Ferrari and Mercedes look their best options. Norris 2 times it. Very happy. Leclerc or Piastri with Sainz and Mercedes. I'd go for Leclerc over Piastri. But Leclerc with Sainz, I mean. So yes, Leclerc with Sainz. Yeah. Right, I have Ferrari, McLaren, Leclerc, Oscar, Zhou. Ocon, want to change Leclerc to Sainz and get Zhou or Logan out. Would you recommend? So, yeah. So you've got 2 options right now, Calvin. You could either go the route I'm going, which is get rid of McLaren to Mercedes, then increase Leclerc to Norris. And then if you have a free transfer, then Oscar to Sainz. However, if you want to keep with your transfers and you want to get out Logan, then you could also decrease McLaren to Mercedes. But then on top of that, with that extra money, then you could increase Sargent to a Hulkenberg or an Albon. Right, so would you take a -10 to get Sainz or Hamilton, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Zhou, Mercedes, Ferrari? No, probably not, Ronald, because I'm assuming if to take the -10, you could probably get a team with like Leclerc or whoever in it as well. So, yeah, Malik, I would recommend not taking a -30. 100% don't take that. Is it worth taking a -10 to change McLaren to Ferrari for budget building? No, I wouldn't say so. Because I doubt Ferrari are actually going to get that 1 million increase this weekend. Sim is putting Leclerc over Hamilton. Ooh, okay, interesting. I would disagree with that. So I don't fully agree with the sim, but I don't think it matters too much. I mean, it does matter, but I don't. If you have Leclerc or Hamilton, I still don't think you should have them over having Norris and Sainz. You know what I mean? But yeah, I still think Hamilton's better than Leclerc. That's interesting. What are your thoughts on Ferrari, Mercedes, my bad, Norris, Sainz, Bottas, Zhou, Albon? Yeah, Sharmila, 100%, I'd stick with a team like that. Check F1 Fantasy for 114.3. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Let's get that on. I'd stick with a team like that, Sharmila. That's really good. It's basically the same team as me, but with Albon instead of Tsunoda. I swapped my Ferrari to McLaren. I think Ferrari's setting up for a bit of a failure of this race. Oh, surely not. We can't have a Ferrari masterclass 2 races in a row. I mean, hey, I wouldn't be surprised it is Ferrari. But you know what? Wow, yeah, no, here we go. Vedan, you can fit in a Norris Sainz build if you can't get the transfers in. And then so the Sainz, the triple Ferrari still seems decent. Gasly or Ocon. Gasly, if you want the cheaper driver, and I think he's going to do bits as well. Like if you have no extra money to put anywhere else, go for Ocon. But if you need that money elsewhere, then go for Gasly. Any real fear about Hamilton's car being tampered with? I don't think so. Realistically, it'd be a shame if it was tampered with, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. I mean, we're going to find out pretty soon. And I mean, it sort of screws us all up if they have been, you know, dicking about with the car. Because, I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. If they've been dicking about with the car and we can figure it out before qualifying, if they have, then we go straight back to McLaren, Ferrari, triple Ferrari. But I mean, obviously, I can't say 100% if it's been tampered with. I can just hope for the best it hasn't, and I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. Because Mercedes, really, are they that stupid to do it again? Less than a year? Like, yeah. -10 for upgrade Hulkenberg to Sonoda? No, don't use -10s to upgrade your cheap drivers. That's what I would say. Who's going to get top overtakes today? Tomorrow. Oh yeah, my bad. So Prenzel, funnily enough, even though I've said he's not a good option, so who's going to get the best changes, overtakes? It's gonna be Sergio Perez, because he's probably going to start like 15th or something with his 3-place grid penalty. But even with those overtakes and stuff, it's not going to matter too much. But then I do think it's going to be very much everyone's going to be getting quite a few overtakes, because we're going to be seeing a lot of people overtaking on the long straight, sticking behind them. People basically, it's going to be quite strategic, I think. Like Jeddah Straight, where people want to stick behind, then go for it, then do it again. -10 for Norris over Leclerc. See, that's the issue. This is the issue, Thomas. -10 for Norris over Leclerc is where I'm so tight, where I like the idea of doing it, but it's very risky. It's very risky. So if you want to risk it, go balls to the wall, screw it. I would say go for it, because Norris will get more points. But I would tend to play it a bit more safe, especially if you're in that position. If I was in your position, I'd play it a bit more safe. Can you show the team you're going to go with? Yeah, 100%, man. Gasly over Sonoda. Yeah, I've said it's going to be tight between those two. But this is the team I'm going with. Bim, bam, boom. I mean, hopefully Mercedes haven't done anything stupid with the car. I can't take another disqualification. I can't take more minuses on my teams. I generally can't take more minuses. I generally might cry if we see any of that. But yeah. Right, Malik Kaz, Norris, Stroll, Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Show, Ferrari, McLaren. Yeah, that's a good team. If you can't, yeah, because if you have to take the minuses to get over there, it's good, cheap building team, to be fair. Although I still would recommend somehow, if you can anyway, Malik, trying to get to those 2 premium drivers if you don't have to spend the money, the negative points. Right, have Ferrari, Mercedes with Leclerc and Hamilton, Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, 2 free transfers, no money left. So all I would do in that situation is drop Leclerc to Sainz. He looks like the better option right now. And I think actually the simulation agrees with me. So Gaz, right, yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. I've done all of that. I've locked up my team. Oh, Maletios, what have you wildcarded to then? Put it in the chat. I'd love to see what you're doing. Norris or Sainz times 2. Matthias, I'd go for Norris. Sainz or Leclerc times 2. I'd go for Sainz times 2. Kevster. Yeah, no. Leapfrog, literally. I can't take them having any more disqualifications. I swear to God. Worth -10 to get Norris plus Sainz and Mercedes. Currently have Norris, Stroll and McLaren plus Ferrari. See, in your position there, Scott, I would take the -10 because the points difference from Norris and Sainz, 2 premium drivers who are going to do well, to a Norris 1 single premium is pretty big. Should I use all 3 of my transfers this week and go limitless in Austria? Yes, so Sirtetez, sorry for the pronunciation. I know I've butchered that, my bad. Because you're using Limitless. When you use Limitless, you go straight back to 2 free transfers, even if you had 3 free transfers. So use all your transfers now, get ready for the Limitless, and then you get 2 free transfers no matter what happens. If we're running Norris and Sainz, who would you times 2? And what do you think about the autopilot? So I would 2 times Norris, but again, I would always autopilot in a sprint race weekend because, let's get real, if Norris does well this weekend, he's getting around 35 to 40 points. Times 2, which is about, 80 to 70 points. And if we miss out on that because Sainz only got 25 points, that's a 30 points difference. But let's say we come into Austria and someone like Norris, you have Norris and Sainz again and they're doing really well. Norris with the sprint race weekend, plus all of that stuff, realistically, you could be seeing a driver with 110, 120 points to a Sainz on a 70 to 80 points, and then you're missing out on 50 points. So it's all accumulates on a sprint race weekend, and that's why you really want to wait for even autopilots on a sprint race weekend. Gasly over K-Mag, Alpine over Haas. No, I would still put my money on K-Mag because Haas always end up delivering, man. I don't know what it is about them, but they are... sorry, I was reading other messages on the comments. I would never back out of putting Haas top. K-Mag 100%. I've had 2 weeks in a row where I've been completely screwed. One ago I had both Haas's, Red Bull and Perez. Oh my god. Last weekend I had Leclerc and Albon with a Ferrari. Jose, this is the weekend where it all changes, my dude. This is the weekend where we make it 3 in a row with Mercedes both being disqualified for having having an issue with having issues with their car. We make it 3 for 3, Jose, and I'll join you, don't worry. No, but realistically, hopefully it goes well for you. Because yeah, that's painful. Have Hamilton plus Leclerc. Which one to drop for Norris, or drop both for Norris and Sainz, but use all 3 transfers, so don't carry one? Yeah, I would drop both of them for Norris and Sainz, using all 3 transfers, Andy. So anyone still watching it, because anyone watching the qualifying debrief, yeah, keep an eye on Leclerc penalty, Hamilton penalty, and what they're talking about the Mercedes car. Please, dear God, please. Right, I'll put that there so I can see it in my background. Norris plus Leclerc or Norris plus Sainz? Norris plus Sainz, I'd go Sharaf. Can advice for a budget of 102.5 million? Sure thing. 102.5 million, it should bring up a team. Don't have Red Bull. Yeah, there we go. That's very much a good team. However, I think you should be going for the budgets. So I would actually drop Norris, bring in Sainz. I'd go for a team like this. The one I'm highlighting. Who asked for that? KM. I'd go for a team like that, KM. Actually, though, I would probably bring in K-Mag, though, over Ocon. Right. Can you explain the Merc situation? So, I don't actually know too much about what's going on with the Mercedes situation, but apparently there's something potentially illegal with their car. I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm only getting comments from it right now because I'm trying to understand what's going on my screen as well, but obviously I'm watching it without any volume, so it's a little bit difficult. When did you say you will lock your team up? I'll lock it in 13 minutes. Basically, yeah. Because I know this isn't... F1 Fantasy's never really done this, but there's been times with Premier League Fantasy, FPL, where if you lock your team within like 10 minutes, sometimes it like doesn't actually register it because everyone's trying to lock in their teams. It's just me being safe, basically. Bop, bop. Bottas plus Zhou or Sargent and Gasly. Bottas and Zhou. Sargent is such a liability right now. Thoughts on double Alpine? I like that idea, Cyclone. I do like it. I just think Kevin Magnussen's still a better option than Ocon, which is why double Alpine would never really work. My team one is in the mud. Wait, was that Jose? Yeah. In the last 2 weekends combined, I made 143 points in both weekends. Yeah, that is hard to hear, man, Jose. But like I said, this is the weekend we change it. Oh man, why am I getting? I don't know if that's just burps. Sorry, joined late. Can we do a poll for Yuki or Gasly? Yeah, sure. Why not? Right, what are we thinking, everyone? Yuki Tsunoda or Gasly? Not Yuki. Gasly. Yeah, we can do some polls on all of these ones as well. Why not, innit? Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting most of the information from Michael because, yeah. A little bit difficult to see what's going on right now. Oh, I really hope they haven't. They have a flexible back wing that may be an issue. Yeah, okay. So okay, wait, hang on. So they might have 2 issues with them right now. Jesus. It'd be so typical. I'm being serious. It'd be so typical for Mercedes to get disqualification points. I think we're going to see a good race. I hope for Norris win, and please, William, not the... yeah, honestly, we're letting us... Me and you both, man. Like you said, I'm pretty sure we've both got very similar situations. Yeah. Let me pin that. Let me pin that message, Michael. That's a good message to pin. Although I can't actually read my comments now that I've done that. Right, hey Zach, should I take a -10 to get in Norris, Sainz, Mercedes, or should I do Norris and go double Ferrari with Ferrari McLaren? Oh yeah, 100% T-Day, TD. Or should I not do Norris and go double? Right, my bad. I read that as go Norris with a net Ferrari driver, and I was like, well, holy shit, of course. No, my bad. I would. I said -10 on someone else's, but that was a slightly different issue. I think if you've got Leclerc and Sainz, stick with it. Don't do the -10 and hope Sainz gets to 2 times. But right, Malik, Leclerc, Sainz, Sargent, Hulkenberg, show Ferrari, McLaren, -10, no, 2 times on Sainz, right. Yeah, because Malik, I'd take a -10 in your situation. So your situation is a little bit different to TD because you only had 1 premium driver and you needed to get off that position. But here we go, right. Hey, Gustavo. Hey, Zach, just joined the stream. 140 million to spend. What is a good team? Let me put that in the calculator for you because I'm pretty sure I know what team it's going to bring up. But let's see what it does anyway. Don't have Norris discarded on it. Yeah, 100% what I thought because I remember it being bang on. You are going to want to have... You're going to want to have Ferrari, Mercedes, Norris, Sainz with the cheap drivers you can afford. But yeah, Leapfrog, I know... Why does this happen? We can never have a laid-back F1 Fantasy final deadline stream, you know. I was so set on these teams. Mercedes, I swear to God, if they've screwed something up right now... we're finished. We're finished, man. Because I need Norris in. I know he's going to get that 2 times. And I feel like I'm going to get really screwed over if I play it safe and go for triple Ferrari McLaren with McLaren. I don't know. Are they talking about it right now? Right, I'm going to mute myself. They're not talking about it. I thought they were talking about it because, what's his face? He was jumping up and down, and I was like, oh, maybe they're talking about the Mercedes car. Right, Kevin. Sorry, my bad. Albon or Joe, Albon. Then, hey, Zach, do you think that for next year they will change the amount of negative points after a DNF? Also, isn't it too OP in the sprint race weekend to have a deadline after the sprint race? 100%. So there's, I always do, Bozadar, I always do a final video at the end of the year saying exactly what I want changed on F1 Fantasy. I've always said there's a few things. There needs to be at least a -5 taken for every penalty you get. Here we go. Actually, they're talking about Leclerc. Never mind, they've stopped talking about him. So there should be minus points for penalties, less points, so around -10 for a DNF. Disqualification maybe -15, but -10 as well. And there's a few other things I would change, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Good thing I locked McLaren at Ferrari. Where are you watching this on, the Mercedes driver? So I'm just at the minute watching it on Now TV behind me. But this is really annoying. Oh yeah, my God! And the game. Who scored? Who scored for them? Oh my God! So many things is going on in the sports world at the minute. Is it worth taking a -10 to get Gasly instead of Bottas? No, I wouldn't agree, Mike. Leclerc and McLaren or Norris and Mercedes? Norris and Mercedes. I still think we all agree. I can't see them talking on Now TV. Well, Sky Sports for it though. I can't see them saying anything much about the Mercedes though. They're all talking about the Norris Leclerc impeding stuff. Yeah, no way was he impeding him. I'm watching it again. That was definitely not impeding. Have your team but with Zhou for Yuki. We'll need a -10 to get to Yuki. Should I? No, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Never take a -10 for cheap drivers. Right. Anything more? Wait, oh my bad, my bad. Hulkenberg or Gasly long term? Hulkenberg over long term. Leclerc or Sainz ×2? Sainz ×2 for you. Eric, sorry for the pronunciation. Hi Zach, trade Leclerc for signs and roll transfer 100%. Or no, don't roll transfer if you can do that. Yeah, do the Leclerc to Norris and McLaren to Mercedes. Yeah. Will you do a Limitless team for next week? Yeah, I'll do. So obviously, I'm not doing my. Obviously, I've used my Limitless. I'm not doing my Limitless team, but I will. What's it called? I'll do a Limitless team. I'll do an extra DRS team. I'll do an autopilot team. I'll do all of those teams. But I'm actually thinking of doing a whole separate video just for that because there's going to be so much that you could do for next weekend. Yeah, sorry, Infinity. Yeah, that's my bad. But then Norris, Sainz, Zhou, Bottas, Sarge, McLaren, Ferrari. Yeah, 100%. You've got a similar team to me. No, that's my bad. That's Sharaf. Yeah, Sharaf, that's a good team. Hulkenberg or Sonoda? Sonoda. What if you can't afford Mercedes, Ferrari, Norris, Sainz? Who would you replace for 112.5 million? So if you can't afford that, I'd still have Ferrari, Mercedes. But I'm pretty sure it's like with... I would go for someone... I believe you could go Ferrari, Mercedes, Sainz, Hamilton. Who asked for that? Zaid. I believe you could do that. So they say triple up on Ferrari. But I like the idea of Ferrari, Mercedes, Sainz, and Hamilton better. But that is a decent team as well, to be fair, though. Albon or Sonoda? Sonoda, Diogo. I have 3 transfers. Shall I use 2 so I can carry the one on the left? Depends what you're doing. So, like, for me, my free transfer would have been carried to get Norris in for next week. So, I'm bringing him in now, so I don't really need that extra transfer. I'm not using Limitless, so I don't need to... So, but if you're using Limitless, my bad, then use all 3 transfers as well. Yeah, sorry. So, right. Kevin, really need some help, man. All right, my bad. Oh my god, I've lost your thing again. Here we go. So Norris, Sainz, Sonoda, Bottas, Sargent, Ferrari, Merc with -10, or Leclerc, Sainz, Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Bottas. So in your situation, don't take the -10. 2 times Sainz and hope for the best. Because oh wait, what? Oh, I see. Yeah, and then I would do your other. Yeah, I'd do the rolling 1 transfer because it's different if you've got 1 premium driver and you need to fully change your team to do the -10. That's fine. If you still have Leclerc and Sainz times 2 Sainz, I think it's still better than taking the -10. Oh, was it actually? Ouch. Eesh. No goal. Hey, Dad. Oh right, yeah, I've mentioned that. Wait, so Leclerc has the penalty. Let's have a look. One minute. Right, they're not putting anything about... Oh, here we go, actually. I'll mute my... No, they're still talking about it, but no one's said anything. No one's put any, like, clear -10 thing. I'm so afraid to go Merc and Lando now. Yeah, no, I know. I'm still going to go for it because, literally, I've made my mind up now. There's no going back, and I really don't want to have triple Ferrari, basically. I don't think that's the move. Hi, Zach. I have just locked in my team and used wildcard. Hey, good stuff, Infinity. Carlos, Oscar, Gasly in for Leclerc, Hamilton for -10. I wouldn't take that for a -10, JS, because you've got Carlos already. So if you could... Oh, I see. Right, I see. No, I would just drop Leclerc to Carlos and then keep your team the same. Sorry, my bad. Yuki or Gasly? Yuki, No, my bad. Pierre Gasly. Kevin Magnussen or Gasly? Kevin Magnussen. Zaid, I mentioned that. So if you can't, Zaid, if you can't afford Norris and Sainz, go for Sainz and Hamilton or Sainz and Leclerc with 112.5 million. Sainz on Norris for ×2. I would go for Norris. He looks the best for now. Force on Verstappen ×2. Magnussen, Bottas, Gasly, Hulkenberg, McLaren, Ferrari. So it's playing safe. It's good. However, I believe in your position, Joel. You could drop. Oh, actually, if you play around with your team, Joel, and you realise that you can drop Verstappen to Sainz and bring Magnussen up to Hamilton on Leclerc, then I'd do that. Should I take a -10? I've lost it. My bad. Double down on Hamilton on the ×2. May the force be with me at a hell point. Biblical bits, mate. Taking a phrase out of Arava and your name, it'd be biblical seeds if Hamilton does do well on your ×2. I'm praying for you, but God damn it, man. Times 2 on Hamilton, that's very risky. Ocon or Magnussen, Kevin Magnussen. Going triple fry, risk it for a biscuit. Yeah, risk it for that chocolate biscuit, Diogo. Good stuff. I love to see it. Autopilot, I'd recommend sprint race weekends, Fernando. Wildcard instead of the -10 to get 2 premium drivers. Oh, hello. This is the fire that happened. I read about that on the news, actually. My auntie showed it to me. Yeah, the something with the McLaren bit was on fire. Oh, yeah, the actual, like, their McLaren thing. Luckily, no one was injured, I don't believe. I laughed before. I was like, Jesus, no, I should say no one's been injured yet. Yeah, it's a shame. I love Piastri as well, but this weekend especially... I've got to stop clicking the wrong button. There we go. Hi, Zach, TD, thank you. My team currently Piastri, Hamilton, McLaren, Ferrari, both Bottas, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and have 116 and 2 transfers. What to do? So you're in a similar position to me. I would... oh, but you've only got 2 free transfers. If you only got 2 free transfers, then I would... If you only got 2 free transfers, get from Piastri to Sainz and Hulkenberg to Albon. I believe that's enough money. Oh, no, never mind. You don't even have to drop Hulkenberg. Just do Piastri to Sainz and you're good to go, TD. F1 Fantasy has the Leclerc penalty in their analysis. That's why I'm asking. Do they actually? What? Where are you seeing this? Where are you seeing this? La 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 la. Where did you see that? Desex? Zaki Poo, hello. Hello, LBJ again. Leclerc plus Sargent or Sainz plus Albon. Sainz and Albon. Oh, -10. If either of them are -10, no. But I'd probably stick with what you got if you got a -10. For him, hello. Currently Leclerc, Hamilton, Sargent, Bottas, Ricardo. Mercedes, Ferrari, what would you recommend? I would recommend Leclerc down to Sainz. And Ricardo up to Kevin Magnussen or Ocon. Right, sorry if I missed anything out. Merc or McLaren? So Mercedes if you don't have enough money for McLaren, but then McLaren if you can afford to have Norris plus a second premium driver with McLaren and Ferrari. Getting Sainz for Leclerc or Ham due to the Merc drama. Oh god, man, this Mercedes drama is doing my head in. It could be triple Ferrari now seems the safe option. So obviously I can't hear what they're saying. It doesn't look like they're talking about Mercedes right now. They're talking about Russell, Mr. Saturday. He puts it on pole once this weekend and he's Mr. Saturday. Fair enough. Post FP3 penalty. Right. Post FP3. Is that on the team calculator? Blah, 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 blah. Any news on the penalty? So we haven't had any clear news, but people are saying on F1 Fantasy Tools that there is taking into account the penalty. But to be fair, I would say don't have Leclerc anyway, but Mercedes or McLaren, like I said, if you can afford to have McLaren Ferrari with Norris and Sainz, go for McLaren Ferrari. If you can't afford it, then go Mercedes Ferrari. Hey Zach, should I take a -10 to replace Sargent to Bottas? No, Reynolds. It's not worth it because they won't be more than -10. They won't be more than 10 points away from each other. Right, because of this Mercedes drama, I'm going to keep my team up for another 8 minutes. Yeah, it's in the drop-down second option. Right, I'm clearly blind. Oh, yes, I see. Yeah, I was clearly blind. Oh my god, okay, what the hell? I mean, I wasn't going to bring in Leclerc anyway, but... Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. Yeah, I might have to, Jack. I keep on forgetting, which is really annoying because I keep on getting loads of bleeding ads on the bottom. Even in my videos as well, I'd look much nicer. But, okay, no, it's exactly the same sort of team I was talking about anyway, my team. So it's fine for me, but it's slightly harder. Change the sim on... Oh, yeah, there you go, everyone. This is the change sim, though, for anyone who wanted to see. For my team, then let's say 115 million was another, like, threshold. Yeah, so basically, if you have over 114 million, try to get Norris and Sainz in your team. If you don't, go triple Ferrari with Ferrari Mercedes. If you have more than 118, I believe it was, then you can have Ferrari, McLaren, and Norris anyway. Yeah, like this, I believe is better. Hey, Zach, do you ever think what's... hey, Zach, do you ever think what's better for your team budget-wise, or it's always more points? No. So right now, I'm in a position where I want both points and budget. And that's why I have to think about it strategically. Because, yes, on a normal, like, just looking at anything, you'd be like, oh, but if you wanted to get more budget, surely it'd be Leclerc or Hamilton over Norris. But from the looks of things, both of them aren't going up 1 million. So when they're not going to go up 1 million, there's no point. What, I take a 0.1 million decrease to get an extra 20, 30, 40 points? I'd take that. Sainz, he looks like he's going to get 1 million. So it's all about looking around your team. Mercedes, Ferrari, good for budgeting improvements as well. So it's like, yes, you can just look at it as these guys are good for budget. These guys drivers are good for points. But you can also look at it where you're like, okay, Norris looks like he's going to get most of the points, probably taking away anyone's chance of getting a million increase. So you don't really have to look on the budget like that side, if you get what I mean. I think that's the best way to describe it. Also, thank you all so much for watching. 285 of you right now. Incredible. Ouch, I hurt my thumb doing that. Let's see the subscriber count now as well. I'll put the link back in the chat. Yeah, whoa! Thank you all so much. Alonso driver of the day, Morris, you're right. So, I don't know if you can all see this, but thank you all so much for the support. We're at 1,331 subs. You are all legends. Let me get the league code back in. It's ridiculous. I tell you what, these weekends, man, I've gone up, what, like 50 subs in the last 2 days? Insane. Just thank you so much, man. 25 minutes. What about penalties? So, F1 Fantasy Tools has been saying that penalties are coming for Leclerc, but we still haven't had really anything saying about it, which is scaring me. But the only good thing I can really say from this is that me and a lot of others weren't going to use Leclerc anyway. So it sort of helps me to just push into that team. Yeah, remember everyone, start locking in your teams. I'm going to have mine open for the next 4 minutes. Hi, I just got home from a trip. How's Yuki doing this weekend, please? He's not doing the best, but nothing to fret about. You know, he could start from the back and get loads of overtakes. Mainly now, sorry for the pronunciation, Jirit. I know I'm butchering that, sorry. Yeah, Seller, Michael, please explain to anyone who's late to it, for the Mercedes drama. Yeah, I know everyone's so nervous about Mercedes at the minute. Michael's pretty much, he seems to be pretty much up to date on all of it. If I win your league, what's my prize going to be? Malezios, so if you win, it's 75 quid. So the top 5 will get a prize of £200 prize pool. Which actually, funnily enough, so basically, since I've been monetized, whoever wins basically gets a month of my YouTube revenue. So there you all go. That gives you a sort of like instance to how much YouTube pays me right now. But yeah, right, my bad. Oh yeah, I never stopped this poll, by the way. My bad. But Gasly just about won on it. 114.1 million budget was to play. You can bring in Norris and Sainz with Mercedes and Ferrari. However, if you can't get the transfers in because of all of the rest of your team, then bring in triple Ferrari or Hamilton and Sainz. Norris or Sainz for ×2. Norris. Piastri or Hamilton. Hamilton. Thank you so much, man. KM. Thank you, dudes. So this is not penalty for Ferrari. No, it's just a penalty for Leclerc. Magnussen or Gasly. Magnussen. What's the Leclerc penalty? Wouldn't a penalty be good? Yeah, so normally I'd think that, but it's just because of how close everyone is at the minute, Jay. So, like, I really do believe if Leclerc starts 6th, he's not going to be overtaking the other McLarens he's behind, the other Red Bulls he's behind, the other Mercedes he's behind. You know what I mean? What's your opinion on Albon? Very good driver, cheap at 8.1 million. The only issue is most teams, realistically, doesn't really fit around. And I wouldn't waste the transfer if you have 3 wanting a roll one to get an Albon. However, if you have Albon in your team, very good option. What's the Leclerc penalty? Oh, right, my bad. The penalty was for he tapped Norris going past him when he was a bit annoyed. Basically, he just needed to chill out a little bit. Should I trade Yuki for Bottas? Oh, I'd be surprised, Kruger. I think Bottas, he tends to drop back down, and it could be another weekend like that. Ocon or Stroll? I still think Stroll's better, like one-on-one, but Ocon normally works better in a team. Sounds weird when I say that, because he's such a, like, he's very solo, a lone wolf, I should say. What are you guys talking about? What happened with Merc? Right, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Right, so Merc called police over anonymous email saying Lewis's car was sabotaged. Completely unrelated, though. Merc is running their cars too low on their plan was wearing in FP3 as commentators saw the spark. So basically, Mercedes could just be running too low. That's the issue right now. I'll pin that again. Also, that's pretty... I wonder who said that. Well, I mean, it was anonymous, so we're never going to know, but... Yeah. Should I take the -10 to transfer Hulk to Yuki? No. I can't stress this enough, everyone. Do not take a -10 for cheap drivers. Only take a -10 if you've got one premium driver and you need to make the move to a 2 premium driver build. Right, everyone. I think I'm pretty much set on it because we haven't heard about the Leclerc penalties yet, but I wasn't going to bring him in. So, everyone, this is the moment of truth. He's locking in the team. Right, so the team has been finalised. The Norris, Sonoda, Sargent, Sainz, Guan Yu Zhou, Guan Yu, I should say. Mercedes, Ferrari, Logan Sargent, a bit wank, but, you know, we've got to do what we've got to do. Everyone, good luck. I'm still going to be on the stream for the next 15 minutes. But that's 3 of my free transfers. Je m'appelle. I'm very scared. No going out of it now. So hopefully Mercedes do not get found out. And I swear to God, if anyone puts in the chat trying to get me that Mercedes have been found out, I'm going to be shitting myself. But if you run double Ferraris, 2 times Sainz is the safer play. Yeah, so safer play is double Ferraris right now because you could still get the budget increase. And from the looks of things, Mercedes, you know, a bit of an issue. But yeah, we just, let's just hope we have a all good weekend. Hulkenberg or Albon, Hulkenberg. I can do Sainz, Hamilton, or Norris and Russell, -10 with Ferrari. Are they both -10 sides? Because I would go Sainz, Hamilton. No, actually, I'd go Norris, Russell if they're both -10s. Please be found. Oh, you know what? The only good thing would be, obviously, I said in my other video that I'd do a 10-kilometer run Monday morning if Mercedes get on the podium. Because I was so adamant that they're not getting on the podium this weekend. And trust me, they won't. They'll get 4th and 5th. Mark my words. How'd you get free transfers? So you could, if you roll a transfer, Diogo, so if you have more than 1 free transfer saved going into next week, then you're fine. Then it goes into free transfers. You can't build up any more than that, though. Yannick Gello, man. Had to cook combine. No problem, man. Yeah. So you can actually see my team right now. I'm going to keep it on the screen, actually, for anyone who wants to see it. Oh, my God. They're talking about the car. Sorry, I need to mute myself when I'm listening to the TV. Okay, no, they weren't talking about it. They were just talking about the Mercedes team in general. That's fine. But yeah, no, so anyone who's coming in late or anyone, here is my team. Big boy on the screen. I'll keep this up for the next 15 minutes. McLaren or Merc, is Alonso a good pick? Alonso not really, to be honest, because he doesn't get you the increases that a cheap driver does, and he doesn't get you the prices that anyone else would get you, realistically. Mark my words, Sargent will get a top 12. Morris, I really hope you're right, man. You know, it's a 50-50 if Logan wins or doesn't win. So I like those odds. You know. So Logan to win. Sainz Hamilton is not -10, but Norris Russell is. Okay. Then Zaid, I would go for Sainz Hamilton then. If that's not a -10. Nico or Yuki, I'd go for... that's a hard one, actually. I would probably still go for Yuki. Should I swap Sainz out for Leclerc? No, I'd do the opposite, Obi. So, if you had Leclerc go to Sainz. So, we still don't really know what's going... Lance got a reprimand, no penalty. Okay, so probably going to be similar with Leclerc. I guarantee, watch you. F1 Fantasy Tools has just done that to keep us all on our edge. I mean, I'm fine with that. Oscar or Sainz, I'd go Sainz. Leclerc or Sainz, the DRS, I'd go Sainz, the DRS. Joe Bottas or Albon, Sebi. Magnussen plus Gasly or Hulkenberg and Oglon. I'd go Magnussen and Gasly, Jess, 100%. Fuma said, fuck it. He's going for the gamble. 3 times Ferrari. Okay, good luck, Fuma, man. Stroll rep. Okay, that's not too bad. Zach, been watching your content since the season started. Keep the grind. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the kind words. It always means a lot. Thank you very much. -10 for Hamilton to Sainz. No, does X. Because, yeah, the -10, especially if you're limitlessing as well, you could be an issue. Stroll or Yuki? Stroll on a 1v1 between Stroll and Yuki. Mercedes or McLaren? Like I said, Elvis, so if you didn't see it, is Leclerc penalty confirmed? Brendan, I don't think so. I don't actually think so, but we'll see. So, if you have no money for Norris, if you can't afford to bring Norris in plus a second premium driver with McLaren and Ferrari, you drop down to Mercedes and Ferrari. That's the way it goes, basically. Verstappen this weekend, he's a decent shout, but only for anyone who's got massive money. Because, sorry, my hair's getting annoying. Because still Norris will probably get more points. Red stop, pit stops. Yep, I know. We've really got to hope Red Bull kind of don't do well on the pit stops. Or your boy, what's his face? Sergio Perez. We've got to hope that he does another stinker. I could do with that. In my life. You know, when was the last time Perez actually got past, what? 3/4 of a race? Norris or Sainz for 2 times boost. Norris. This race will be a 2-stop. Red Bull look great if Perez gets at least 12 points. Yeah, it's just the issue, Zuera, where the rest of your team gets such a knock. If you do go for Red Bull, that's my issue with them, basically. But Leclerc and a free transfer for Austria versus Sainz. Oh, yes. See, the thing is, I have a strong feeling Sainz is going to get a 1 million increase, Simon. So, I would go for Sainz and not have the free transfer. A -10 to change Merc to Ferrari. No Ferrari drivers in the team. No, I wouldn't do that then, Jess, because I really do think Mercedes and Ferrari will score similar points. Locked in, Leclerc. Ooh, we've gone a little bit different there, Joe. Good stuff. Leclerc. Oh, really? Oh my God. Okay, that's huge. I'm trying to watch the F1, do the stream, figure out what's going on in the Euros as well. Too much going on, man. Right, anyway, yeah, right. Leclerc Sainz or Hamilton Sainz. And who should I 2 times? I would, if we're going on this weekend alone, go Hamilton Sainz. Although, if you want to play it safe because of all of the talk about Mercedes, Leclerc Sainz. And then 2 times will always be Sainz, though. Should I leave 9.8 million on the table to save 1 transfer for Austria? I'm just dropping max for Sainz. F1 Fantasy Tools says I will gain 2 points, but 0.5 million more value. So Victor, I would play it safe. I would actually, I would keep Verstappen and have free transfers, because I believe if you had Verstappen and free transfers, you could then change to 2 premium drivers next weekend. No penalty for Lewis/Stroll confirmed. Okay, that's fine. Thanks. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck to everyone. Let's see what happens, man. Hopefully it's good. Magnussen or Gasly? Magnussen. Why DRS or Norris are not signed since they are in Spain? So, Mike, basically, even though I know they're in Spain, if Norris comes second and Sainz comes third, Norris will get DRS. Norris will get the driver of the day. If Norris wins, he'll get driver of the day. And even though he was a little bit behind him in FP3, Norris did that when he screwed up his first laps. I think Norris looks best to get pole position today. And Sainz looking... my top 3 for qualifying is basically the top 3 in FP3. Norris, Sainz, Verstappen. It could easily be Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, but yeah. Save a transfer or Leclerc to Sainz. Cormac, risk it for the chocolate biscuit. You know you wanna go Leclerc to Sainz. 2 times boost for Norris or Sainz. I still think Norris. Hey Zach, sorry if it's not that relevant, but do you think about next weekend. Would you run the 3 times tip if you don't have the potential P1 and P2 drivers? So, yeah, here's the thing. I believe Georgia scored the penalty. Oh, yeah, Mark's put it in the chat right now. Right, sorry, wait, I've missed a few things. Yeah, no, so I would say only use extra DRS if you can afford to have Norris and Leclerc in your team with McLaren and Ferrari. Or maybe Mercedes and Ferrari, because I think if not, you've got so much time till Brazil where you could then have Verstappen and Norris. So you've got plenty of time in the season to do it. So don't worry too much. No problem, Green. Thank you so much for the kind words. Then Leclerc Orlando, I mean. Oh, right, yeah. Wait, hang on. Wait, oh, right. No penalty for Leclerc or... no, yeah. I believe there's been no penalty for them, although they haven't still said it. They've been talking a lot more about the Stroll and Hamilton incident. Oh, okay. Keeping Leclerc. I see what you're talking about. All right. Very, very close. Okay. I mean, oh, by the way, 10 minutes to go. Everyone lock in their teams. Everyone get to it. So this is the team I'm going for. Remember, if you can afford McLaren and Ferrari with Norris, go for that. If you can't afford it, drop it down to Mercedes. Cheap driver-wise, don't worry too much. If you're using Limitless next weekend, use all 3 of your transfers. We still don't really know if Leclerc's had a penalty yet, which is really annoying. Because we're just getting a load of waffle from Sky Sports. Like, great. That's fantastic. What a, like, oh. In racing, a lot of time, the first fit doesn't get... Yeah. We're not seeing a lot. I'm scared. Holding first place in my league and trying to keep it up so stressful. Yeah, man. Because that's the issue when you're in first place. It could get to you. Did he get a penalty? From the looks of things, he still hasn't got one. Leclerc. They haven't said anything about it. Although I can't hear what they're saying on the commentary. So anyone watching it, have they confirmed yet if Leclerc's had a penalty? Sail away, sail away, sail away. Yeah. Triple Ferrari with Mercedes and Sargent or Norris. And Ocon with McLaren Ferrari to avoid Sargent. No, I would still stick with Sargent if it means you can have McLaren Ferrari with Norris. Yeah. Rate this. Norris 2 times. Hulk, Magnussen, Yuki, Gasly, Ferrari, McLaren. Yeah, it's good. Lil Russ, for like where you are at the minute, it's decent. You just got to be careful with the budget, basically, because you could get left behind doing a team like that. Quick! Yuki versus Hulkenberg. Yuki Tsunoda. Albon or Zhou? Albon. 3 transfers, 130 million. Leclerc, Stroll, Ocon, Tsunoda. Hulkenberg, Mercedes, Ferrari. Or should I do Leclerc to Norris, Ocon to Magnussen, or Stroll to Sainz? Yeah, do Stroll to Sainz. Get Sainz in. Get 2 premium drivers, Chris, if you can. Let me quickly get up a team you could do. Boom, boom, boom. Leclerc will only get a penalty on the next MGUH, I think. Okay. We think Leclerc hasn't got a penalty. No one really knows yet. They haven't said anything yet. But here we go. Boom. You want to be running, a team with triple Ferrari in. You could have Hamilton over Leclerc. Doesn't matter too much. Zhou or Bottas? Zhou Guan Yu. Zhou, Bottas or Albon? Mauricio? Albon. Good luck. Oh, yes. Good luck to everyone out there. I'm going to stay on for another 3 minutes until I'm going to turn on my own telly, get it off the small screen, and we'll get the show on the road, isn't it? Right. From F1, these 4 drivers did go and see the stewards around an hour ago, and we have 1 decision through. Reprimand for Stroll. So, why are they taking so long? I swear to God, if we find out that Leclerc has a penalty, obviously I'm not using him, but I'll feel more annoyed for anyone who does use him in the end. If we find out Leclerc's got a penalty and they couldn't sort it out, because genuinely, how long could this take? Do you think these are the people that do the points tally as well after F1 Fantasy? Maybe that's why it's so slow. The FIA's doing this as well. How are they this slow on the decision? I don't know. What about Piastri, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Ferrari, McLaren? So that was my team before the changes, Baba. But I really do think Norris is a must this weekend. What's the logic behind recommending Sainz over Leclerc for double DRSing? So the logic is Sainz has been looking much better than him this weekend. And if anyone's going to get driver of the day that isn't Norris, it looks like Sainz, potentially. I do see how we could do it. Oh, okay, never mind. Are you sure? Biblical Bits. I'm trusting you here. Is it 100%? Is it 100% confirmed? And obviously, I think Carlos Sainz is most likely to get the 1 million increase out of everyone. That's what I really do think. What's the Yuki song? Tried to find it, but couldn't. It's the Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda. Oh. There's some dude who's got like a Yuki Tsunoda fan account. I think if you search up Yuki Tsunoda fan account, you'll be able to find it. And all he does in it, he just goes Yuki Tsunoda. Right, yeah, no, but we're near the deadline. Let me get this. Right, sorry. I just joined, mate. What's the meta, man? SC4, this is the team you want. If you can afford to have McLaren and Ferrari with this team as well, then you want to do that instead. But yeah, let's... why Mercedes versus McLaren? Basically, because if you can't afford to have Norris, I'd recommend dropping McLaren to Mercedes. But if you can afford to have Norris and McLaren, then it doesn't matter too much. Zach, are you serious? Biblical! That is not very nice of you. I'm on holiday in a rural place. I've barely got any connection. Fair enough. Right. Anyway, that is the 255 mark. That is me done, everyone. Get your teams locked in. Would you prioritize getting Ferrari or Sainz? Ferrari. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. I can't appreciate all of the... well, I think we had 2 super chats come in. Thank you so much. Now, no, we still don't know if it's actually a Leclerc penalty. But Sainz DRS. But yes. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We're on 1,138 subs. Thank you so much for that. Let me do a quick rundown again of our league. But yes, Yuki or Gasly? Yuki. Okay, reprimand. Okay, it seems like it's all going to be a reprimand. But yeah, all right. Let me get my league in one last time, and then I'll say a jolly good goodbye to you all. Whoa, Yuki Tsunoda. Right, yes. So thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the quali. Hopefully we all do well. And hey, I'll see you all later. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm live streaming again before the race to go over, well, not really final fix, but we'll just go over how everything's going anyway. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Babat, don't take the -10 for that as well. And Joe for Hulkenberg for last. Hulkenberg's better. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all later. If I can find where I need